Hello, we are live for the second episode of the Manufacturing Consent Negative 72 podcast with your hosts, Flowers, also known as DMB, also known as Gabriel, and Kill
Yeah, that's me.
Hessel, also known as Liam. Today our guest is the one and the only... Hold on. Capital Skis, that's his name. Okay. All right, hey Skis.
How's it going? I'm glad you found the piece of paper with my name on it.
Yeah, it's going good. So, meet a Timbit. So, yeah, okay, first question. Gabe, you got it, right?
Yeah, what's up? No, you go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So, I'll start broad, Skis. I mean, people know you for your goaltending ability and your addiction to the game. So I'll start broad, and then we'll narrow the scope as we move on here. So, what draws you back to HQM again and again? Like, what brings you to this holy place?
Well, it's hard to answer since I am retired again, but I guess it was the competitiveness, and the hockey culture from the hockey posts I saw way back when. And I've been here so long, I feel like I'm part of the community, but at this point, it's not. I don't know if that's such a good thing.
True.
Okay. So why do you say
I don't know.
why do you say it's not such a good thing to be part of this community?
I don't know. I think it's just more of me moving on personally than anything else. I think after the 2-year break, I guess I expected. I don't know. I guess I just
More growth. You
yeah,
expected more
I
growth.
guess more growth is the.
Yeah, everybody's kind of the same, which is, they're not on our timeline. They don't owe us anything.
Yeah.
Nobody owes anybody anything, really. But yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, but after that, and then getting benched in my one LHL season back was a big hit to my ego and will to play. So we can blame it on that.
Right, and you got benched on the original Colorado. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Like the one with Dyal or EX?
Yeah.
How do you
Yep,
feel about that
that'd be the one.
decision? Was that the decision? Was that a correct decision? Looking back on it, trying to be objective, were you the worst goalie?
No. I think if I'm in net for that playoff series, we at least take it to 7. I don't even remember. I think it went to 5 or something like that. But I mean, I don't think any goalie in this game is going to come out and say, yeah, someone should be playing ahead of me. Like, I think we all have the same mentality where I'm the best on any given night, or I might just be the best in the game. So at that point, it was just, I can be the best any night for me.
Right. And who was the goalie that took over for you? Was it Doc?
Yeah, it was Doc, and it's no shame to. I'm sorry, it's not
No disrespect.
I'm not trying to say no disrespect. I just thought I was better at that point. Like, the dude's never played an LHL game in net before. He had one good day where I was out of town for Thanksgiving, and I come back and I'm benched for the playoffs. I felt it was a little unfair, especially with how well I was doing the first half of that season before the entire team just went down the drain. But I also don't think I was their first pick in net anyway, so it is what it is.
Right, and here's a question. So, moving right on from that, I'll ask another one before Gabe jumps in. You have that killer instinct. How do you feel when you go to the Colorado next season, and it is the worst team ever, but you come out, you're behind Doc initially, and then you come out and you start. How do you feel? Does your ego recover at all in that scenario?
Probably a little. Like, I posted better stats than them, so can't really complain. I feel a little validated doing that, but I think I have a long and storied of being on the worst LHL team. I think I've made the playoffs twice ever. And then, 3 times. I forgot about the little Atlanta jaunt we had.
Yeah, I remember. I was there.
Yeah. You were there the first time, too. It was that Toronto team with Leafs, you, and then he traded Drag, and then we got swept.
Man, we were cracked, man.
We were really good until he traded Drag. And then
good old days.
Yeah, it was before we were all washed up.
Okay, Gabe, you got anything here?
Yeah. Okay, Cap. What do you think is holding us back as a community from really growing and flourishing and like becoming a juggernaut in esports?
From becoming a juggernaut, or just like back to
growing, just growing.
Oh, growing. I'd say the pub star mentality is our biggest issue. Like, and not even at the fact that it exists. Like, there's no putting that genie back in the lamp. Like, it's not going anywhere. People like playing it too much for something. Just the fact that if any new player joins this community, and we've had a handful this last week or so since the Endo Mills guy joined, and just like, all right, everyone plays on this one server and doesn't play anywhere else. And you're not allowed to play here until you practice by yourself for a couple days. I mean, who the fuck's gonna keep practicing to not play? It'd be like if you got on Rocket League and you can only do solo practice until you hit a time criteria, and then the game decides, all right, you demonstrated your worth to us, you can now join. Like, I think that's probably the biggest issue right now.
Okay.
It's interesting because Gabe doesn't even play pub stars.
Yeah, I don't like pub stars. I don't like pub stars. I don't think it's fun.
Let alone pubs.
I think you just have to treat it like a regular pub. Like, I don't get people who think it's supposed to be competitive. It's literally the only game in town. Like, there is no casual HQM anymore. It's either ranked pubs or league games. So if all the ranked games are the only thing there, they're all casual. Like, I don't get why people get so upset about their ELO or whatever in that thing. It's just practice.
Right. Well, but there is a new. Did you see the new? There's a new thing in the Discord where you put ++ and you get into a casual pub lobby. Did you see that?
I did see something about that, and I don't play anymore, so I haven't paid attention to that much. Like, I know there is something with casual pubs, which is really good, and is a good step in the right direction.
Okay, are you planning on getting back into the game anytime soon, Skis? Or are you hanging up the? Should this be the retirement podcast? Like, this is the career retrospective, or?
Unless the games move 2 hours later, I won't be, because I'm moving to Denver in 2 months, so I will physically not be able to get home from work in time for games.
Damn.
Like,
right, and why Denver?
That is where my new job is. So,
what's your new job?
Currently I'm a civil engineer. I do roadway design specifically. So, like, highways, roads, sidewalks.
That's sick. That's badass.
I've designed all that.
Hell yeah, dude.
They pay you for that?
Yeah, they pay me a medium amount of money.
Dude, everybody bitches about roads and highway design all the time. And I'm always like, dude, come on, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. My dude Cap designed this, okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you're ever in Syracuse, there's a couple trails and at least one street I have designed. So,
wow,
that's fucking sick, dude.
Can I on the podcast?
Can you link him up?
Yeah, can I on the podcast? I'll show the viewers. Can you link the street that you designed?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Can I find it on Google Maps?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay, this is exciting.
Yeah. I'll look up the stuff and then ask me the next.
Okay, I'll ask you the next question. Okay,
yeah.
Gabe, I've got some prepped and ready to go, but if you've got more,
yeah, send them.
Okay, this one doesn't really have to do with civil engineering. I'm gonna be that's in the back. That's on the back burner though. I'm gonna be thinking about that as we go.
All right.
So what's your like cherished most favorite memory slash season slash like is there something you really associate positively with HQM when you think about HQM?
Uh, I really liked my time as the GM of Atlanta season 15 the first time. I thought it was me, Gabe, Margie, Jabba, and Para. And I thought we got along really well. It was fun. We made the playoffs. Like, we're the only team to ever take a playoff game off of that crazy auto guy Calgary team. So that was a fun season. And then
Yeah, they were correct.
also my time GMing the Perth Thunder and the JSL was probably the most enjoyable thing I ever did in HQM. Like, picked a bunch of new kids and old guys, meshed them together, and then got them to the finals. That was a ton of fun, and I kind of wish JS. Probably why I don't have such a negative opinion of the JSL.
I think that a lot of the people who have negative opinions of the JSL, this isn't even really a question. This is just me ranting here. They never GM'd it. They never participated in any way. They have no idea what it's like, and they don't even talk to people from the JSL. And then they form an opinion about the JSL. Do you feel the same way that I do in that way?
Yeah, I really hate the what is it? The revisionist history about how the JSL and RSL were some bad idea where players just went to go to play instead of getting better, which as an argument on its own is bullshit. Like, not everyone needs to play to constantly improve. Like, at some point, people have jobs or something, can only play like an hour a night. They should be allowed to participate in games and stuff. And idea that at our top we had 170 people in leagues or something like that way back when. The idea that everyone should only be solo practicing and that they're not getting any benefit from the lower leagues is such bullshit. Like, especially coming from people who came from the RSL. Like, I'll call Tony Flo out on this specifically. Like, that dude was in the RSL for 6 seasons, and suddenly he made the LHL, and suddenly it was a negative influence. Like, yeah, he started taking the game seriously more, but he's not sticking around if he has nothing to play and no one to play with. Like, I always hate that argument that it's a negative impact. Like, people aren't going to play this game with the only league they're not allowed to play in or where that's the only option.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hitting hard.
I've been holding on to that one since I listened to a Face Off podcast where they talked about the failure of the RSL. It's just
all right. So
that's my
yeah
rebuttal to that.
Yeah. Let's keep on this. So maybe I'll just speak and we'll generate something from there. So I always thought that a lot of the vocal members of the LHL community weren't really doing anything to help the RSL or the JSL. Like, a lot of them wouldn't GM. Like, there were some BOC, and I didn't think that they were putting a lot of time into it or a lot of effort, and they still had like a whole laundry list of like things that should have been done better. And like when we went to community meetings and stuff, that always frustrated me. I thought that the people like you, Skis, who at least tried to, get involved, especially even with HQML recently, it seems like there's just a general apathy from the community with regards to things that aren't the LHL. Was that your perception?
I'd go for there's a general sense of disdain for everything that's, as far as to say it's disdain for anything that's not LHL. Like, I think there's a serious I got mine mentality for a lot of the LHLers. Like, I made it out. Like, everyone else who hasn't made it isn't.
It's not my problem.
Yeah, it's not my problem. Which, that's fair enough. It's a video game, and
nobody really owes them anything.
Yeah,
them as in the new players.
You don't have to. It's like asking Eli Manning to train up his backup quarterback, whatever year that was. Like, the dude doesn't have to. Like, he did, but it's completely justified if he didn't want to. Like, he put in the work. It's not his job to pull everyone up with them. But at the same time, like animosity towards like the lower leagues is just ridiculous from some of the players. Like,
Do you feel like it's animosity towards the leagues or the people playing in the leagues?
I think it's both because like there's a lot of animosity towards casual players in this community for whatever reason. Like the trademark
HQM is very like it's like the Dark Souls of sports games. It's the Dark Souls of hockey.
yeah, like the trademark example hippo. Like the dude wasn't ever good enough to make the LHL. There's no arguing that, and he was constantly in the JSL, and then but the idea that he shouldn't be allowed to play because he's been around too long and doesn't want to practice like 10 hours a day for a year to get into like this upper tier where his opinion's suddenly respected. And then like there's a lot of forgetting how hard this game is and how much time it takes. Like I started in college when I had nothing but free time. Like I would just go to class in the morning, come back, and then do the goalie practice thing that
The mod.
Yeah, that mod for like an hour straight, 2 hours, and then I would go to my next class because I didn't have anything else to do. Like it's absurd that we can't rationalize people don't have time to commit all day to this, and that somehow that means they shouldn't have as much opportunities to play.
Okay, that's interesting. This is we're really getting okay, let's veer a little bit, but let's stay on a similar track. So who's your least favorite person in HQM?
Beegeepi.
BG.
Like that is the biggest man child I ever had the misfortune of being on a team with. I regret every day my last season, or not every day. Every time I think about, I don't think about this every day. It was like 3 years ago. but just season 17 LHL, Atlanta Flames this time. DMB and Java on that team because
Yeah.
it was always us three, even when I wasn't the GM. I traded Trev Crow for BG at the beginning of the season, and then he immediately comes in and throws a fit and threatens to retire. And like, I wasn't having any of it. Like this dude was 28 at the time, and I was having to be the adult in the situation. Like living at home post college before I have a job. Like,
hey, yeah, some things never change.
Well, for him, but
Oh god.
and then yeah, and like when you traded it for him this last season.
I'm aware. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, that is the exact same shit he pulled with me. Like I had to ask Dyal to try and talk him down from retiring because it would have screwed over our team. And then there was this one game where Jabba was on a breakaway and DMB was with him. So he tried to pass instead of shoot, and it didn't go in. Whatever. It happens. And then BG just makes some snide comments, just like, just shoot it. And then Gabe's just like, all right, that's not helpful. Don't. And then BG's just like, well, that's why we fucking suck or something like that. And we get into this whole big like fight during the game. I have to call a timeout to try and get everyone to focus. And eventually we end up losing the game by like, I think a goal or something like that. And then as BG's logging off and is just like, you guys suck. He's like audibly breaking down in tears. Like his voice is cracking. He's clearly about to cry. He's just like, this is why we suck. And then like half an hour later, I get a Snapchat message from him where I have to scroll down on my phone to read all of it. And he's just calling me an awful person, a shit player, like a terrible GM.
Oh
I should have
God.
screenshotted it.
Holy
I
moly.
really wish I had. Like I was trying to be the bigger person at that time. Like I should have just I should have screenshotted that and posted it on Hockey Question Jerk for everyone to read. But that's my biggest regret with that whole situation, that I didn't screenshot that shit and reveal what a fucking rat he was. Like, by far my least favorite person in this community.
Oh boy, that was intense.
That was really funny because I remember all of it.
Gabe, here we have to take a sidebar. Then, Gabe, please explain.
What's up, buddy?
What else do we have? Is there any other details you can add for me about this BG story?
No, well, just like the fight that we like got into. That's like the second time I've had to yell at BG during a game.
Okay. What was the first time?
The other time was it was on like Seattle, I think, and he was doing the same thing. He was backseating, and I just told him to shut up. I told him to stop.
That's Seattle, like the recent Seattle, the season 20.
Yeah, the one with me and Crab and BG, yeah, and Tony.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I traded for him, and he immediately said that he didn't want to play, and that he was going to retire, and that I didn't ask him if I could trade for him. And I said, BG, I didn't think I needed to ask a 30-year-old man if he would come and play the game for me.
No, yeah, that's what I got too. Like, it was like, well, why didn't you fucking ask me? Because we're like trying to have a semi-serious league, you dick. Like, no one gets asked if they want to be traded. Like, you don't get to just say, oh, I only want to play with Crab. It's not our fault. Crab's the only one who can stomach you. Like,
okay. That's
true. I thought you were good. I traded for you because I thought you were good at this game. Oh, and then he pulled some bullshit where he didn't want to play defense, so I had to placate him and put him on offense for a while, and we didn't win any games with him there. Like, and then he finally caved and he came back on defense.
Right. Okay. So you have the nice long story about BG. Do you got anything else in the anything else like anything that's right on your chest, on the top of your head that you really need to get out in the world in terms of grudges or bad blood in the HQM community?
Oh God, where do I begin?
Okay.
I don't know. There's certain people who I don't care for, but it's nothing like serious like that. I think it's just a maturity or personality mismatch for a lot of people who I don't particularly enjoy being around. But I wouldn't say I don't have as much vitriol. I don't have any vitriol towards them. I just don't want to be like in a Discord
exposed to them.
Yeah. Which I think that's fair. I'm sure.
Yeah, totally.
Who don't think I'm not their perfect cup of tea either. So
I don't know. I don't really know. People don't really talk smack about capital skis. I don't know if I've heard that before. I mean, maybe I haven't been around long enough. Gabe's been here longer than me.
People generally just talk crap about KP, I think.
Yeah, well, that's so easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, skis. Here's a question. This stems right from that. How do you feel about Kill Pestle and Dick McButts? What's your general opinion on the two hosts of this podcast? If you had to break it down,
don't hold back.
And don't hold back.
I like you both as people. I think you're both overrated at the game, and
you know, I agree with that. Definitely.
I don't think your a lack of perceived skill though is a slight on you as people though. Like I get along with both of you. I have no problem with either of you. Like I remember the first time I was on a team with KP, and like the press wasn't good about you, KP. Like there wasn't a ton of great publicity for you before I started, and then I don't know why, but I just had like this impression that you were not great to be on a team with. As soon as I got on the team, he was like, "Oh, this guy's fine. He's just talking shit because that's how he has fun. Like he's not being malicious about it or anything." And I think I haven't had a problem with you since.
Right. I think what I've been told is that I get bad press because I like to wall dangle. I think that's probably where a lot of it comes from. That
started as a meme, and then people started getting really mad about it. I don't know why. Like,
well, I mean, I think we talked about maturity issues within the community, right? Like
that's real. People have a problem with you because you wall dangle.
Yeah, that was initially part of it. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think the other thing too is I think Skis. This is why I wanted to bring up how he felt about us. I think, we us three here have a similar understanding of how social situations work, whereas I don't think there's a fair number of people in HQM who maybe don't get social situations, like how to talk to people or like what it means to interact with human beings.
Yeah.
How do you feel? That's a fair assessment, Skis, from your perspective.
I think it's just, I think us three specifically, we're kind of like pretty catty bitches. So like,
True.
that's how we communicate
Yeah.
with each other, and that's fine with us. But like, I remember guy was shooting on me when it came back, and he was doing those like shove it into the ice shots to try and then where it goes in and lifts off the ice. Where I can't read them. So I was just joking, and I said, "A guy, you shoot like an asshole." And then and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he took it personally, and he was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "What? No, I didn't mean it. Like, I was just trying to make a joke." But I think that's just that kind of difference. Like, I think everyone has their like different form of communications. Like, I'm snide and make sarcastic remarks. And I think you two are as well, which is why we typically get along. But for people who aren't like that, who are nice to people they enjoy being with, that could be very off-putting.
Do you have a message for the haters, Skis? Is there something you want to say? Like,
Not really. Like, I'm pretty sure for 3 months at one point I was the best goalie in this game, but other than that,
I have
I
a
don't
better
think
way to
that's-
word the question. Do you have any messages for Beegeepi or BGP?
suck a dick. I don't care.
There we go. That's
Like,
better. Thank you. That's what we were looking for.
okay, Gabe, do you got anything in the? I got so many in the gun ready to go. Gabe, what do you have?
I literally had one, and then the story about BG just fucking up. I forgot, so you can ask.
It just threw you for a loop. Okay, this is really we're going hard here. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can. Oh, okay. Let's talk about HQML. Let's talk about the revival. How did you feel about that situation?
I thought it was really good for the first. I thought it went really well for the first 2 weeks, and then the happened in Discord threw a temper tantrum, like all those guys, because draft night was on the same thing as week 3, and then after that it went all downhill. Like, that is my opinion of what happened. Like, people seem to be enjoying it. Like, Austin was constantly getting on me. He's like, "Oh, we're a B tier team. We should be an A tier." I was like, "There's only 7 teams. Like, whatever. You can just earn your way up." And then he got really upset when I did move them up because we had the alleged 18 that only showed up one day, which I shouldn't have included. Like, that was my mistake. But I moved them up anyway, but I didn't count all their points against the all goalie team and the Nova Doucette team and the Alter DeBeasy team. I'm like, all right, we'll just count all our points as overtime wins and losses. So like their losses count, or their wins count as 2 points, and then like the teams that lost them, it counts as an overtime loss for them. And I thought that was fair, just because like they hadn't played anyone A tier at the time. They don't deserve to start out with 8 points and possibly knock anyone down. And at the same time, they weren't starting in last. Like, they started above our team for HQML. So I never got what they were so pissy about for that. But I think, but yeah, that really went downhill after draft night for the last season of LHL. And the idea that league games, even if it's a casual league like HQML, should take a step back and give way to a draft was a non-starter for me. And I guess I didn't think I had to explain that organized games should come ahead of possible scrims for teams of a league that hasn't started yet. But apparently that was the wrong opinion to take, because a bunch of teams didn't show up. Like, I think Crab's team did show up, realized the other team forfeited, and just like, all right, well, we're just going to take our 3 points and then cancel them out and still stay in first. Which I guess fine. Everyone else was doing it at that point. And then I was very annoyed and pretty upset with how that all played out that night. And then it was just what I wasn't enjoying running the league at that point, because I was still having trouble for getting people to show up. And then there was people saying, "Oh, we can't have the game HQML on the same night as LHL. And then because people won't show up to HQML, which again, I thought was a bad argument. People will show up either way. But I posted a survey to figure out what night would be on. And then I think 17 people-ish, like give or take a couple, responded. So we already had a low response pool. And then Saturday nights won by 1 vote over Fridays. So I decided, all right, whatever, we'll move it to Saturdays. And then apparently the Dusty Boys team, Kiwis team, couldn't make Saturdays at all. So they just didn't show up for the rest of the season. So now we were down to 3 teams in the A tier, 3 teams in the B tier because the new players team stopped showing up, which probably could have been expected, but I was an optimist with them. And then I think after that, it was just trying to run out the clock. And I think there's a lot of negative perception about it I'm not sure why there was so much animosity towards that league. That is my summary of it. Oh, also, I thought there would be a successful recruitment wave before that league. So I was trying to make a casual league where new players can play, because all I had heard since I got back is how the RSL and JSL weren't good for nurturing development, and it's not good for people who just want to play to be in those leagues because they're for development. So I'm like, all right, cool, we'll have a casual league, and then apparently no one wants that either. So that is my summary of the HQML.
Wow, that's quite a succinct summary. All right. Okay, so building.
How do you define? Wait, go ahead.
No.
I was gonna ask how do you define like a league being for development specifically? Like, what does that mean?
I don't think you can. Like, it's like saying the AHL is for development. Like, yeah, to an extent, like the late first round picks are gonna play there, but are you really gonna walk up to the captain of all those AHL teams and say, "Hey, you really shouldn't be doing this. You should be giving the young guys more time so they can get back up this team that you'll never be on because you're not good enough to do it." Like, leagues can't be inherently for development or anything. Like, leagues are there to play in. Like, whether or not people develop playing in them is a benefit. It is not the point of having a league.
So in your mind, when you talk about the JSL, you wouldn't have capped anything about the JSL. It would have just been there 3 skill level tier leagues, and it just so happens that new players belong in the lowest one. Is that like you wouldn't have wanted like in your ideal world, the JSL doesn't restrict Rising Hippo from playing in it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, no one should be punished because they don't want to solo practice and play a video game. Like, the idea that you have to earn your ice time for a video game is dumb. Like, we're all playing this because for some reason or other we enjoy it. And trying to limit who is allowed to enjoy it is just the wrong way to go about it, in my opinion.
Okay. Here's a question, if you would allow me to deviate. Who is the your most feared, or you thought about the most shooter? You know, you're thinking you're a goalie. Who when someone's coming down on you, you're like, oh shit, I'm not going to save this. Who was that for you?
Oh, Otto.
Right.
Otto is by far the hardest player to set up because Otto will start off with pretty benign shots, and then if you save a couple, he's the only one who I have found in this league who will mid-game change his shooting style. Like our first LHL season back, season 20, I watched all the goals for every game for like 2/3 of that season, and then had a Google Doc of where everyone was shooting and what they like to do from where, how the goals are being scored to try and look for patterns from people. And then like the first 2 weeks auto. Every single time he got a shot, he would send it right into the middle of the net, and it'll be low on the ice or in the middle of the net. It would never be bar down or anything like that. And then I had some pretty good success against him the next 2 times I played him. And then after that, he started picking corners and stuff like that. And it's completely impossible to predict where he's going to put it.
Do you still have that Google Doc?
I still have the Google Doc, yes.
That would be interesting to see.
I can link that easier.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I need to see my shooting patterns, brother.
Yeah.
DMB, does DMB's one say high and wide, or what does DMB say?
I made that joke before you did. You fucking
I don't
pussy.
think DMB was scoring very much enough.
That's also I don't shoot the puck. Okay, I don't shoot my shot. Okay.
Yeah, I kept that shot book up until we lost that game to Seattle, actually, where you came back from like 5-1 and beat us like 8-7, where we had 2 or 3 chances.
Oh, I remember. Wait. Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, shit,
you're on that team?
Yeah, I was on the Colorado team.
Oh, and damn.
I was so furious after that because
that was
everyone
unlucky.
on Colorado was just fucking around, and especially as a goalie, where pretty much people only give you as much credence as your stats say. Just having them fuck around up 5-0, 6-1 was infuriating because you guys then did come back and it was like a 15-goal game. It was like, all right, I'm not going through this game. I'm going to take the night off. And after that, things just went downhill. And it was just.
What was the final score? 8-7?
I don't remember. It was something like that. It was ridiculous. Like,
that was crazy.
And it wasn't even like I was playing bad. Like, I made like 4 separate point blank redirect saves, and we still lost that game when we should have mercied you guys in the second period. Like, that was the straw that broke that Colorado team's back. Like, there was no saving the season after that. Dyal was besides himself. Like, the attitude shift on that team was crazy. Like, Michellle lost all confidence in himself. Dyal was suddenly starting to like kind of shit on the team a little bit. Like, Cap was all of his confidence from beating Boston and Toronto for his first 2 games. D, all that confidence out the window, and then we lost and then we barely won the next game against that winless team, Zam's team, the LA Wildfire. Like, that was a dark day for that Colorado team.
And Dyal was like angry, like he was sending texts, he was like doing video. Was he?
No, I hate to say it, but I didn't think Dyal was a very good teammate that season, especially when things weren't going well. Like, I thought, like, when things were going well, he was definitely cheery. He was doing fine. Like, and as soon as shit hit the fan, it was a lot of not good enough. We gotta what is it? We gotta be better. And then, like, I think after one game, like after we lost our 4th game, it was like, all right, well, why don't we focus on one thing we should improve on, because it's Tuesday and our next game is in 3 days. So obviously we're not going to improve everything we're bad at in one game. So why don't we just like focus on passing or something? And then Dyal just came back just like, well, we need to get better at everything. And it was like, well, that's not helpful. Like, we're not going to get better at everything. You got to take baby steps. Like, the house is falling over. No one's Superman. We're not picking it back up and putting it back on the foundation. Like, I thought, and he was also kind of checked out that season. Like, wasn't practicing as much of as his previous self was, and I think he's even admitted that. And like, that's no problem. Like, that happens. Everyone lost confidence. The defense stopped. Also, Guy had stopped playing, which is a big reason for the downhill trajectory after that.
Right.
Why did Guy stop playing?
His shoulder.
That was because of his shoulder, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he had shoulder surgery, and then it turned out he didn't have to have surgery until like after the season, I think. So he couldn't play the whole thing. But he would have been in our team anyway. So
Right. Okay. Here's the. Oh man, I had a. Oh, okay. So you talked about that, Colorado. Do you have any insight on what went wrong for the worst team ever, from a goalie perspective? Colorado season 21, last season. Gabe and I, we weren't good enough.
I don't think. I think it was probably like I think I think both of you are really really good second forwards. I don't think either of you are at the carry tier, and I think especially with where the game is at now, you need someone at the carry tier. And like, I also think KP, you would just tilt yourself out of like skill at some points. Like you would get so frustrated during games, like you just try and force everything, and then I think that was a really big detriment, especially in close games where like stopped or something, and then where you could have made a pass, you try and shoot or dangle or something, and then we lose the puck and stuff like that. But I think it was just. I think we were probably competing for fourth seed at the best on that team. It was just we weren't good enough, pretty much. I don't think we were worst team in history bad, but like the Buffalo Sabres this year, when it's bad, it's really bad. Like it's just once that boulder gets rolling, it's hard to stop.
Right. It's
also,
just.
I posted the Google Doc. You guys want to take a look at it?
Let's pop it up.
This is impressive.
Let's pop it up here. So I've got this. I've got on the podcast. Everyone can see the shot book. So I'll pick Seattle versus Toronto because Gabe and I are both in that. What do I do?
I only picked like where goals are scored because I didn't have enough time to like watch a full 15-minute games and then annotate them. So I would just fast forward through the replays until a goal was scored, figure out who scored, and then figure out what happened. My biggest takeaway is over 90% of goals in this game are scored on the breakout. No in-zone play whatsoever in this game.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. I don't even know. Oh wow, we lost. Oh no, wait.
What game?
No, we won. Oh wow, cool. Oh man, I gotta find more. Oh, here's another Toronto game. Look at all these notes about me. here's a note.
God, what do they say?
KP sends slow centering pass. Narg own goal. Okay. Woo.
Pog, dude.
Yeah, there's one point I realized Narg wasn't saving any ground shots he was facing. So then what team was Narg on that season? You're just looking at it.
Look at all these KP goals. I love watching these. Medium hard. Why is my shot medium hard?
Yeah, I was trying to. Like, it wasn't like a ripper, but it had some zip on it. It was pretty much that. Like a lot of these, like speeds are pretty. What is it? Broad estimates.
I like looking at my own goals. It's my favorite part. Man, I miss this team.
Oh yeah. Eric VM doesn't cover the right quarter of his net ever. Was a big one. Like he always cheats to the left post super hard. And if you put it, if you're coming down your right side and throw it far post, it will go in every time.
All right, interesting. That was interesting to look at. It was a little. Let's try and step away from technical here. I think we're bogging down a little bit. Okay, let's start branching out. So I want to try and get as much stuff as possible. I don't think this is going to go the 3 hours that we do with Dyal, but let's inject some energy into it. So Skis, how attractive do you think you are?
I don't know, like a 6, I would say.
Like a
little
6?
above average.
Okay.
Yeah. If 5 is average, I'd say I'm a 6.
That's fair.
Are you like, so this is how I picture you in my mind, and you tell me if this registers with how you look as a person. So I would say like you're 5'7", you have like you're short, you have like a little bald head, you have some like wispy black hairs attempting to cover up the baldness, you have like a small mustache, you're kind of pudgy and you have big hands. Does that fit?
I am no, I am 6'2". I have a full head of hair. I have a full beard. My hair is very dark. It's almost black, but it's not.
What's your ethnicity, Cap?
I am white.
It's not a swear word. You don't have to say it like that.
White. I will get
I knew you
sunburned
were white.
anytime I go outside. I do not tan. I've been tan once in my life, and it took an entire summer of being shirtless, and it wasn't that tan anyway. Like, I am pale. I'm like a ghost. One time I was visiting my cousin's lake house in Alabama, and we were getting a ride on the stranger's boat because that's what they did there. And this kid just is like, wow, he's really white. And then, and then my cousin just is like, yeah, he is. And then that is how white I am.
And you have a partner, right? Like a life partner?
Yeah, Disa is my partner. We've been together for almost 2.5 years now.
Right. So that's not
big
that's
shot.
That's like you're testing the waters still with that.
Is 2 usually testing the water?
She lives here now. She's creeping over here to make sure I don't say anything mean about her.
Firm handshakes.
So I'm gonna have to wait.
Yeah,
on the
I know you're
questions.
listening, babe. It's a 1-bedroom apartment.
I'm gonna have to wait on the rest of the questions until she leaves, of course, so we can get the real honest answers. So here's another question. Okay, I don't really want to ask this if Disa, is that just say her name was?
Disa.
Okay, yeah.
Disa.
Yeah. Nadisa?
Disa.
Disa? Like Adisa?
A-D-I-S. Yeah, like Adidas without the second D.
Okay, so Adisa.
Cool.
So anyway, do you mind if I ask like what ethnicity Adisa is, or?
Yeah, sure. She's Bosnian.
The fuck? It's not an ethnicity. That's a country.
That's a good joke, but it is. But it is.
Yeah, it's an ethnicity. She's a one of those refugee Bosnians from the Serbian propagated genocides in the 90s.
Wow, that's I didn't even know.
Yeah.
From my research is that wasn't a genocide. What do you think?
I think that one was called a genocide because we don't really care about Serbia's opinion. There's no nukes in Serbia, is the point. So we can kind of call a spade there.
Disregard Serbia. That's also racist, by the way.
What, calling Serbia a spade?
Calling a spade is racist, by the way.
Is that actually?
Yeah, spade is like a word for a black person.
Are you making this up?
No, I just learned that recently.
Oh, okay.
Well, I guess I gotta take that one out of the rotation.
I mean, you know,
it's like how I used to
do
say.
with that information what you will.
I used to say like, "Give me a cotton picking second."
That's funny though.
Yeah, but it's not right. I learned recently why. I also learned something. Gabe told me something. I think Skis might have been there when I said something last season that I'm not going to repeat. Wasn't supposed to be said.
Wait, what wasn't supposed to be said?
It had something to do with your Mexican heritage, Gabe.
Oh yeah, you called me the W word. Yeah, that's true.
I did not know
that. Not WAP.
Oh boy. Okay. All right, Skis. So speaking of ethnicity, what's your taste in if Adisa wasn't there? Like imagine Adisa, like, you know, something happens and like you're on the free market. Are you looking white?
Are you looking white? Well, I think Kapelski is always looking white.
I'm looking for whoever swipes right on me on Tinder.
Firm handshakes.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you'd be okay with any.
There's no ethnicity criteria to clear. It's really just all about the looks.
So okay, whoa, it's all about the looks. So Adisa's like a ditzy dimbo, is what you're saying.
Oh, what? No, but she's very pretty.
Right. So you call yourself a 6, but your partner is very pretty. How does that factor in?
There's no leagues. Leagues don't exist.
What? Oh yeah, like there's no. Sure. Like it's all about chemistry and like
Yeah, and being funny.
and
Right?
you know tricking them. Yeah.
Tricking them. Sorry, when you say tricking them, what do you? Can we
Squad W? Squad W.
Can we get?
You gotta trick them into thinking you're like a decent person and like life partner compatible, and then like you slowly pull the curtain back over 2.5 years, and
then they're in too deep. They're in too deep to get away.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like the feelings are still
Liam's too young. He doesn't understand. Cap.
Cap, how old are you now?
I am 25. I turn 26 next month.
Wow, that's amazing. Good for you. Good for you.
You've done well. We're proud.
You've done a great job.
I appreciate it.
How do you? Oh man, okay, maybe I'm gonna
say
ask.
it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How are you? How are you doing? How's your mental health? How are you?
Oh, I'm actually doing really, really well. 2020 was actually a really good year for me. I'm pretty introverted, so I don't do much outside of the apartment anyway, so the pandemic didn't have a huge effect on me. Also, I live with my girlfriend, so it's never like there's a loneliness issue. I got into cycling. I lost over 20 pounds. I got a new job with a 20% raise. Like, I really can't complain. I'm doing
Hell yeah.
Damn,
well.
that is really good to hear. And did Adisa like pat your belly and be like it's too much, and then you had to like drop the 20 pounds? What happened there?
No, I've always been self-conscious about my weight. So it was just finally finding something I enjoy enough to do like every day, like cycling. And then that leads to more stringent dieting. And then just kind of spiraled into healthier living pretty much.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, there are
How much do you bike? How many miles are we talking here?
Yesterday and today I biked 93 miles.
Wow.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That is
holy
a lot.
shit.
That is far.
You don't have to do that.
I want to do that. Like
wow.
The goal is to do like a week-long bike packing trip through Germany.
That would be sick. Holy shit.
2 years. But like you have to be in shape enough to be able to like bike 60
That's a
miles
lot of biking, dude.
Yeah, 7 days straight. Like it's really not that bad because I don't have to work it around like my schedules and commitments. Like it's really easy to bike 30 miles in the morning and 30 miles in the afternoon and then take like a 3-hour break in between those. Like that's not. It's just getting the endurance for it.
And sorry, when you say biking, you mean like outdoors? Or you mean like in an indoor stationary?
Yeah, this weekend was outdoors. I also have a direct drive trainer which hooks up to an app called Zwift, which simulates outdoor riding. It's like a video game for biking. Like you get actual feedback from the trainer, so the intensity changes depending on the elevation and stuff like that. And then there's also races and plans, which I've done a couple of there also.
Okay. So you talked about you're sensitive about your weight. So like if someone called you tubby, or like someone called you like a little tubster, like you ate too much, or like commented on your how much Doritos you eat or something, how would that make you would that make you feel bad?
How much I ate? No, it's really just my physical appearance. Like if someone says, "Oh wow, you eat a lot," I'm like, "Yeah, I'm hungry," but it's more just like I haven't had abs since I was like 13, and then I don't know why. I guess I was also friends with I guess athletes in high school, so like they were all pretty in shape, and then I put on like 30-40 pounds in college too. So
freshman 40.
it's just yeah, it was not good. Like
right. So like let's say
I
Gabe.
did not handle. What?
No. You finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I didn't handle autonomous living and making my own dietary choices well in college.
Yeah, I don't think many people do, right? I mean, that's why it's
having 24/7 access to fast food level nutritional buffets is not great for a freshly out of the house 18-year-old.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, believe me, I know.
Yeah.
So if Gabe called you like a tubby fat fudge packer, I don't think fudge packer's the
Wait,
word.
you can't say that. That's way more offensive than calling him fat. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I did not mean to.
How do you accidentally say fudge packer?
I don't even know what that means, man. I just know it's not good.
It means gay.
Yeah, it's homophobic.
Yeah. Fuck. Sorry. Let me roll
Jesus,
back.
man. I gotta scrub that from the record.
It's going up. So if
It's
Gabe
going
called you like a
expunged.
big fat fatty, like to your face, like you were eating a pizza and he said, "Excuse you, look fucking fat." What would you do you think?
Nothing. I'm very non-confrontational. Also, I assume I knew him, and I assume he wouldn't mean it. But like I think one of the most hurtful things is like one of my friends was just like, "Oh, you fucking lard ass!" Like when I like accidentally like sat on like a part of his backpack and it broke on accident. And it's like that was hurtful, and like that's just like one of those things. But like if I know you're joking, I don't really care.
Right,
Also, at
so-
this point, I wouldn't call myself like fat or anything.
Right. So if the rest of the podcast I called you lard ass, how would that make you feel?
I'd be fine because I figured you'd be doing a bit.
Well, isn't it all one big bit?
It really always
We're
it
kind
really
of
is a big
explaining
bit.
the joke before it happens.
All right, lard ass. So you the character models in HQM are not. You can't be fat in HQM. Was that part of the draw for you?
No, God, I don't know.
They're
I just
kind of
saw
fat.
on
They're
them.
kind of fat. I'll say it.
There are some sturdy boys.
They really are. They're certainly
wide.
not skinny.
No, they're definitely wide.
Yeah.
They have very broad shoulders, and then it's either a poorly fitting jersey or they're wide all the way through. Yeah. I guess we're body shaming the HQM models now. So
Well, you know,
Body shaming is a liberal term. I don't really.
they're white, so
I don't really abide by body.
Balances
I'm not
out.
really a liberal. Let's talk about. Speaking of liberalism and like other mental disorders.
how do you feel about the ongoing apartheid in Israel?
apartheid in Israel. Do we actually want to get into it, or are we just
Send it.
throwing up? I mean, I think what Israel is doing to the Palestinians is inherently wrong, especially with the way they're going about it. I think.
But
I think
There's a
there's
big
a
but
lot
here.
of problems on the Palestinian side also. But
okay.
it's basically two unwanted peoples in the Middle East, and they're kind of fighting over this piece of land that they both want, and it was neither of their faults about that happen. Like the British fucked it all up, and then just like, oh boy, we feel guilty for not dealing with this whole Holocaust thing sooner. So let's just give the Jewish people Israel, and then
What
that
hasn't
started off.
the British Empire fucked up, honestly?
Oh God, I don't know.
You know, Germany just finished their World War II debt or whatever, like in the past decade. When are they going to start paying their debt off?
No, I think they just finished their World War One debt. I don't think they finished their.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I forgot which World War that they were paying off. My bad. Unironically.
Actually, I'm not sure if I think it was the World War One debt they just finished. I don't because they. That's such a shitty thing we did to them. Like we subject them after this First World War to these unpayable sanctions and just tank their economy, and then nationalism and fascism rise because that's what happens when people are rightfully upset about these foreign powers oppressing them economically, and then just this whole nationalist situation pops up, and then we invade them again, we beat them again, and then we just divide their company up into East and West Germany. I don't know. I don't think they had to pay reparations for World War II because then we're just kind of charging good Germany and then East Germany. Neither of them were the Nazi Germany, so I don't know.
I think you're probably right, yeah.
Which Germany was your favorite?
Let's go with World War One Germany. Like that's just your good old fashioned nationalist European history fighting with like they were just doing it for power. They weren't doing it to like
Just guys being dudes.
yeah, there was dudes being dudes.
It wasn't like a whole Jew thing.
It was just
Yeah,
a big old
exactly,
dick swing contest of Germany and France fighting over who was the better land military power. Like,
Right.
the answer was Germany, but
Right, and then the British.
like,
got
I don't think it was
involved.
inherently malicious. I think it was just like what statecraft was at that point, especially since the Napoleonic era, is where that all stemmed from. Like,
If you just take an LHL player and compare them to Adolf Hitler, who would you choose?
I mean,
Don't say Beegeepi.
I think
Too
you can say
easy.
BG. No, you can
doesn't
say
it?
it's gotta be Tony.
he's charismatic. He doesn't. He's got very
He's very passionate.
conservative. He's passionate. He's got conservative views about the HQM community. Like,
So you're telling me that Tony Flo is the most comparable to Adolf Hitler?
sure.
Okay, and you're gonna have to do one more for me. Josef Vissarionovich Stalin. Is there like a Joseph Stalin in the?
Oh, that's
HQM?
Dyal. Yeah.
Dyal?
Like,
Okay.
Dyal's the Stalin because he's paranoid. He constantly tries to replace the teammates around him, like skis.
That sounds like Beegeepi, honestly.
I guess I wasn't counting the paranoid thing. I think it was just like more the whole totalitarian thing. Like, oh yeah, everyone gets a vote, but I'm still making the decisions.
Right, that is actually a really
It's
good
like
view on Dyal. That is actually like a really succinct way to look at his tenure.
Like when he wasn't actually part of the BOC, but really was. Like,
Well,
I am the Senate.
You mean always? Dyal's
Like,
always the person who
yeah,
makes the
like,
decisions,
oh,
like-
I'm stepping down. I'm just being consulted for every decision, and my input is being taken as word of law. But no, I'm not the BOC, and it's just like, I mean, okay, sure, but
Right.
you are. But
Okay.
you know what? I'd equate Dial more to Putin when Putin's the prime minister instead of the president.
Right, so
He
Dyal's
switches that
like
one dude
Putin.
every-
He swaps back and forth, BOC,
Yeah.
not BOC, but it's the same. It's just a title. Like really,
Yeah.
the actual power is still in his hands. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If you had to
Now,
compare,
I want to caveat. I don't actually think either of these people are.
no.
terrible
You've said enough. Let's compare DMB Gabe to a world leader. Who would you, past or present? Which world leader do you think DMB is the most like?
God, I don't know. This is.
Donald Trump, please. Come on. Hit me
Oh
with
no,
it.
you're not Donald Trump.
Fuck,
like
man.
you're much more inclusive. Like
God damn it. It's not as fun.
I don't know who's like a world leader that's kind of progressive but doesn't really want to fight for it.
Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau.
Sure,
JT.
let's go with that.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
That's a dub.
All talk and no action from Justin.
I've never
Trudeau.
done blackface though. Yet.
Yeah.
We can't rule it out. It's possible. Anything's possible.
Okay.
What about Liam?
Yeah. What about Kill Pesto?
KP? I don't know. I wouldn't call KP a leader to begin with, so it's hard to make a comparison.
What do you mean?
Fucking.
I mean, you GM teams, but I don't think you're really in the community leader kind of tier of this community. I think that's fair to say.
I think that I've led many a man into battle.
I think you're Hirohito.
All right, Gabe, questions? I've got a bunch. I'm not.
No, you
saying-
keep going, buddy.
Dude,
I'm trolling.
I've been like guiding the show here for like the last little bit.
You know you like it.
You sure?
I
Well, I
mean,
do.
You're the host, so
I'm not the host. We're both. Well,
Well, it's like 80-20.
it's like 80-20.
Yeah.
It's like 90-10.
It's like 90 shit, 10 good, right?
I asked the
like-
last one.
like KP's the crust, sauce, and cheese, and then Gabe's the toppings of the pizza.
The greasiest
Oh, the
pepperoni.
pizza. I thought you were talking about thought talking about a burger for a second. I was like, crust?
I mean, technically.
Because I want to see my... Never mind. Okay. So...
Who'd you vote for?
Yeah, thank
Did
you.
I vote for?
Yeah, who'd you vote for in the last election?
Bernie in the primaries, Biden reluctantly in the... What is it?
Okay.
Why reluctantly? You weren't riding with Biden?
Who the fuck is riding with Biden? Won because he's not Trump. Like, if we really want to get into political, we can start now.
True.
I like Biden. That's
the Democrats got destroyed down ticket, and then Biden won the presidency. But sure, it had nothing to do with his opponent. Everyone just totally liked him. But
right, okay. I was a big Mitt Romney fan. What do you think about Mitt Romney?
Well, I think Mitt Romney is one of the most stunning and servile Republicans out there because he's he's placed himself well to where he's still like 2012 conservative, which is still shitty, but it's compared to 6 years later, it's now almost neoliberal.
Right.
And then like the dude's a bad dude. Like doesn't believe
Bad dude.
He's a capitalist. He doesn't believe in social safety nets. Like he doesn't believe in a woman's right to choose. Like what shit. Like
right. I think
he's not an all-out fascist. I don't think. I think he's just neocon. So
right. Okay. Let me make a statement. And you tell me if you agree or disagree. It should be legal to murder babies.
Well, what do they do?
True. What did the baby do?
Listen, I'm not going to say that I'm pro-life, but, you know.
Also, what are we counting as a baby? Are we conception to birth, conception to 2 years old? Because you can argue a 1.5-year-old's still a baby, so...
Well, I would say that like there's like a period of time in the mother's uterus in which the baby develops to a point where it has like a fully functioning brain. Well, not fully functioning as compared to an adult.
I think that's horseshit. Ask one person if they remember what they were before they were born. No one's got an answer.
Right, but you also don't remember what it was like to be born. And are you allowed to kill like a baby?
No, I think at that point, like they've proven that they could, like, with proper care, make it. But I don't think. I believe life doesn't start until they're on their way out of the mom. Like I think up to that point.
Okay.
Like, I also don't think it's anyone's place to say what they should do. Like, if a woman's 6 months pregnant and then her husband gets in a traumatic car crash, they bankrupt themselves, keeping him alive, then he dies, so they have to sell their home, and suddenly she's out of the streets, and she still have to have the baby. Like, I don't think so. Like, I think circumstances change. It doesn't make her a bad person.
Right, but could I make the same argument with like a live baby? Like she's had a live baby, her husband dies, same scenario. Should she be allowed to like kill the baby?
Oh, at that point you can at least get the baby up for adoption or something.
You can do the same thing with bringing a baby to term.
Yeah, but it's a lot harder on the woman's body to bring a baby to term than give it up for adoption, because then you have to go through the whole pregnancy. Than it is after the baby's born and realize you can't do it and give it up.
Right, so you're saying that the woman's bodily autonomy trumps the fetus's right to life.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting take there. So let's meander a little bit.
What's your take, buddy?
What's my take?
Yeah, what's your take, buddy?
You know. Yeah. I'll say this.
This?
Skis, I think, is just looking at it from the wrong perspective. Like, he's, he's a bad person for wanting babies to die, is what I'll say. So I'll move to my next topic. Skis, are you a fan of capitalism? You talked about Mitt Romney being a capitalist. Are you a capitalist?
No.
would you call yourself like a socialist or?
I'm probably somewhere between a socialist and a communist. I haven't done enough personal research to figure out where on that spectrum I lie.
Oh, geez. So what is it about, you've heard the Black Book of Communism, 100 million deaths. What is it about that totalitarian murderous ideology that you enjoy?
Well, I feel like you just made the argument for me. While communist Russia, USSR, the Soviet bloc were very totalitarian and did horrible things, they're also totalitarian. Like, I think everyone just likes to skip over that little tidbit of where it was just a massive dictatorship through those 60 odd years. And then don't think if the Bolshevik Revolution knew how it would have turned out, they would have gone back to full-fledged totalitarianism. Because they went from
SARS.
They went from czars and an empire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They had a revolution where tons of people died. I'm not going to give a number because I don't know, but it was well over 1 million. Let's say that, which is probably lowballing it. And then it's kind of like people don't really know what to do if they've never had different forms of government. It was like with France after the French Revolution, they had a democracy for a little bit, and then Napoleon was able to work his way into becoming basically a dictator of the French Empire. And I think that's kind of what happened with Stalinism and the Soviet Union representation of communism. Communism itself, though, I think proved it can keep up with and at least compete with capitalism for 60 years. I think on a social aspect, the totalitarianism is what people really have a problem with, not the economic system.
Well, I think people have some problems with the economic system, right? Like, the two aren't really. You can't interchange the two. Like, you can't. Your economic system and your social system are built one and the same. Here's my example. So when you talk about the totalitarianism in the Holodomor, the genocide of those farmers in the Ukraine, like, because the political and economic system is such where you collectivize all of the grain into Moscow, you're not able to. And you have that power because of your social power. I mean, clearly the economic model is related to the social model in that case, right?
I think specifically with the Ukraine example, the Russians have a very different view of the subjugated Eastern Bloc countries. Like, they don't view what they did to Russia as like that's where the real crimes were. Like the Hungarian famines, like, that was orchestrated by the KGB. Like, they were much more how they treated the actual Russian citizens and how they treated their satellite state citizens is night and day. And I think that's part of the totalitarianism. And I think that's part of they wanted to rebuild their empire just as a communist empire. And I think you have to have an opt out of it. Like, I don't think there has to be a choice, at least.
Right. So
which the USSR never provided. Like, the economics worked for them, but how they treated their citizens is what I think people really have a problem with, not the fact that the grain industry was nationalized.
Right. Okay. I'll grant you some of that and move forward partially. How would, in your mind, a communist or socialist government decide on commodity distribution without the work of a market? Or do you have some market concept?
God, I do not have this highbrow of stuff, but like, I don't think having a market as itself is that bad. Like, I think for the necessity stuff, like healthcare, utilities, water, internet, electricity, food, I think all that stuff should be government run. But and like nationalized. But like on top of the like I think there's room for both to like I think my ideal model is like the what is it?
Scandinavian model.
Nordic states now. Yeah, Scandinavia. And they're more social capitalist than anything. But that's pretty close to what I think would be ideal. Well, I think the unfettered greed of American capitalism now is a very big detriment to the people in their society. And I don't think people, and I think the reason capitalism doesn't get as much flack as communism did is we kind of whitewash all the harm capitalism does as doing it in the name of freedom here in the West.
So, like, you mean like the wars in the Middle East and?
Oh, sure. Just pick any war after World War II. Like
the Korean War and the Vietnam War.
Even before that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the U.S. wasn't a huge power player at that point. At that point, the U.S.'s wars were purely national based. Like we are trying to build an empire to compete with these European empires, and like
I think you could argue that's like rooted in capital.
Yeah, it's just there's more resources here. We want them. We're going to go get them. My ideal society is we abolish all of the countries and collectively live together as one people in Earth. But like we produce more food. We produce enough food that no one should ever in this planet be going hungry, but people constantly do. And that's just all wastefulness and capitalism. Like just trying to make money off of it instead of just helping people.
Well, it also has to do with the fact that just because we produce that food doesn't mean we can transport it and distribute it properly to like.
Yeah, because it's not profitable.
Yeah. It's not profitable to transport it. But like I said, that's my ideal. I don't think that will ever come to fruition until we're facing an alien invasion where we can hang with them technologically, which we won't. But at that point, we'll finally start realizing, maybe we should work together. But
right. Okay. So, if I'm playing HQM, should I have to share my goals with Gabe?
What kind of goals? Life goals?
No, like my shooting, like my goal, like my goals. Like you're a communist. Should I have to communist my goals to Gabe?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Our goals, not yours, buddy.
I think we should get rid of individual stats and just have team goals.
Yep.
Not actually, but that's the tongue-in-cheek answer. Just like, who cares who scored? It's just win or lose.
Right. Okay. That's interesting.
That's a very goalie point of view because I don't care if we score 6 goals and we mercy them. I just want to win. Like I don't give a shit what the score is at the end of the day. Like,
well, clearly you don't because you let in so many. Okay. Do you like anime?
I do like anime.
That explains.
But like, do you like anime? Some people like anime.
I will dabble. I would say, like,
okay.
I haven't watched any in a while. Like,
I'm a dabbler too.
Into it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's respectable.
Like, I have friends who they watch a ton of anime. Like, one of them speaks Japanese and knows it. The other one's girlfriend speaks Japanese and they watch it. Respect. So he refuses to watch subs. But yeah, my friend group is very pro anime. So
that explains the communism. So what's your favorite anime?
I think maybe Fate Stay Zero. Or Fate Zero, I mean.
Right, that's the one where like it's like historical figures and then like Lancelot.
Yeah, Lancelot, Alexander the Great, some monster thing, Jack the Ripper or something like that.
And
Like
you
Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero are really good. The rest of the Fates suck. But
and you like, is it like a Joseph Stalin character for you? Like a Joseph Stalin gets raised as a...
no.
There's no Man of Iron like in the... That's disappointing.
I haven't watched it in forever. I don't think so. Yeah, I think they mostly stuck to Western European heroes.
Would you willingly live in Africa?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on what part. And then I don't have an answer for which part I find acceptable either. I do not know much about Africa and where to live, but I think I could possibly live there.
Are you vaccinated?
I am vaccinated, yeah. Fully
Hell yeah,
vaccinated.
Hell yeah, brother. Are you a Pfizer guy?
Yes, I am.
Fucking nice, dude.
So you willingly took the chip? Like you knew that the government and like Bill Gates was behind it, and you took it anyway?
Oh yeah, like dude, I own a cell phone. Like, what do I care? Like, I don't even have a password on my cell phone. Like,
that's a power
just
move.
take my information. It's already out there. Like, what are you gonna find out?
Well,
that you like anime.
Yeah, some of this stuff. If I had it my way, then McCarthyism would come back, and you'd be in jail. That would be my ideal situation. I'd be careful if I were you. How about this? Let's get really down into it. If you could, here's a question for you. It's you, BG, and Xi Jingping, the chairman of the CCP, Chinese government. And you're on an island together, and there's a raft, and only two of you can escape. Who do you take with you? Do you take Chairman Xi Jingping, or do you take BG?
Probably Xi Jinping. Not because of like any like. I just think he'll work harder to get us somewhere on the raft. I don't think Xi Jinping's thrown in the towel to get back.
I don't think Xi Jinping's gonna ask for a trade, dude. To a different raft.
That's a man who has more ambition than I am, so I'm not betting against him.
What do you think about China? You like China?
No.
Wow.
Think,
Go on.
I don't know. Like, they're very. Like, what good has China done in the last 10 years?
What do you mean, what good has China? Tons of good in the last 10 years.
TikTok. Come on, bro.
Look at the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative. They've provided so many African countries with infrastructure. The Belt and Road Initiative. They provided African countries, Middle Eastern countries.
Yeah, that's not out of the goodness of their heart.
Yeah, but
so
neither's
what that
anything.
Actually is no. China. That's China trying to exert their influence on East Africa specifically. So they're giving huge loans to these African countries, and they know the African countries will never be able to pay it back. And then what they do then is after a couple years, where after the infrastructure is built and it becomes impossible for these countries to exist without this infrastructure, they start calling in these loans. And then instead of that, the property then reverts back to the Chinese. They essentially now control these shipping ports in East Africa. It's not.
Right.
I wouldn't say they're helping these African. There's a benefit, definitely, but it's definitely not. They're not doing it to help African civilization cities. They're doing it to secure footholds into Africa.
Right, and so the African countries, their leaders and their people are just too stupid to realize like what's going on. Like they're clinking rocks together still, so like the big Chinese government comes in and they just blindly follow. and they go like they just clonk clonk, kind of like Gabe if you put him somewhere and made how to make him make decisions.
I mean, I don't think anybody's helping them either way, right? They don't really have a choice.
Yeah, it's
they'd be stupid not to do it.
Yeah, like to reuse the life raft. If the Chinese come along in a boat and pick you up out of the water, and then what is it? Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah. No. I got some pop up that the audio device switched, but yeah. So if like the Chinese boat comes up and they rescue you, but the condition is now you have to work on that boat for the rest of your life. Do you choose to drown instead? Like,
Right. So you're saying that they're taking advantage of the African
it's really
nations.
a damn
Yeah.
they do, damn they don't. Like,
Yeah, they are. They're taking advantage, but also like.
So, like the World Bank and the IMF taking out massive loans on behalf of European nations and the UN with Africa, that was different, or was that the same?
I don't know enough about that. Like,
Well, the World Bank and the IMF they've been exploiting poor countries for years.
The entire world has been exploiting
yeah.
Africa forever. So yeah.
Right, but China's actually going there and building infrastructure. Isn't that like something to be? Like,
It's still
happy for?
exploitive.
Yeah, but
yeah,
at least
it's still well, yeah, it's just like.
But any relationship,
benefits,
any trade is going to be exploitative. Like if I talk about like a trade differential between me and another country, like you could spin it as exploitation, but like they're still getting something from it. I could just not do that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I guess it does help the African countries, but not as much as it's helping China and exert itself in Africa. And I think a big reason why China gets away with it is that no one really cares about these African, like none of the Western powers really care about these African countries anyway. So China's much got free reign. So
But these Middle Eastern countries,
it is helping them.
The Southeast Asian countries that are involved in the Belt and Road Initiative, they love it. Like their opinion of China increases every day because of it. I mean, they have roads now. You know.
Yes, all right. Well, you convinced me. China has done some good for the African countries.
And also, I mean, millions upon millions of Chinese people have been lifted out of poverty, and that in and of itself is to some benefit, right? Or because here's the question, right? So America builds itself on the back of poor, basically what is essentially slave labor, and so does China.
Mm-hmm.
So should we be giving props to China for lifting millions of Chinese people out of poverty and into middle class, in the same way that we kind of give props as a society to things like the Industrial Revolution, which required what was essentially slave labor and literal slave labor in America for like a really long time. But at the end of the day, we have Americans who are better off than they ever have been. Is there the requirement that the globe has to undergo what is essentially slave labor before they can industrialize? And so should we just celebrate their progress while still condemning something like the alleged genocide of the Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang?
Yeah, well, I guess that's a historic point. I guess I look at it through the lens of I'm from at least post-slavery country. I guess I still have that a Western point of view where like, well, we did it in the past and we wouldn't do it now, except for our inmates in our penal system. But
True.
it's still, yeah, it's kind of just like looking at it like it with a modern viewpoint, like what we did as a country to lift ourselves up and expand was massively evil, and we still do very evil things. And it's probably just my Western point of view where I just see it's much easier to criticize China for doing stuff. And I think China also takes it a bit farther or is a little more brazen about it than at least America. Like at least when America overthrows a government, they're pretending it's in the best interest of that country. Whereas I think is just committing the Uyghur genocide, and they're not even trying to justify it. I don't really think.
Well,
They're saying, well, we're sending them to labor camps, which isn't better.
they're saying that they're sending them to re-education camps. Their argument is that
Yeah.
they're extremist Muslims, and so they need to be turned into Chinese people, basically. That's like how they justify it.
But
I mean, of course, it's not a good justification. Here's another question. So, would you send BG to work in a Chinese labor camp?
no,
You'd
I
be
wouldn't send
merciful.
anyone to work in a Chinese labor camp.
You'd be merciful to.
Yeah.
Here's the question I asked. I asked a similar question to Dyal yesterday. What would you do? Not yesterday. What did I say yesterday? Last podcast.
I don't know.
What would you do if you went to heaven? You died and ascended to heaven, and you got there, and at the pearly gates, who's the saint that Saint Peter, right?
St. Peter.
St. Peter's at the gates, and he says, "Okay, capital skis. Yep, you're. Yep, that's correct. You lived a good life." And he's about to let you in, but then BG walks out from behind a cloud and whispers something in St. Peter's ear, and he says, "Ooh," and he scratches your name off the list, and he says, "Sorry, the big man says so," and then points to BG as the big man, and he sends you straight to hell. And BG laughs. You can hear BG laughing, giggling even. What would you do? Like, what would you say or think as you see BG condemn you to an eternity in endless torture?
Well, I think my first reaction as an atheist, is like, oh, well, got farther than I thought I would. So, made it to the gates. Didn't think there were gates. So, and after that, just like, well, at least I lived longer than them.
So, in spite, you outlived BG.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm already going to hell. Like,
And I mean, if BG's in heaven, is it really heaven?
oh, there's tons of terrible people in heaven. Like
Reagan,
yeah,
BG,
like if
Thatcher.
if how I was taught Christianity is to believe, all you got to do is believe in Jesus Christ as your savior, and then you basically get in. So if that's true, oh boy, heaven's got the worst of the worst up there.
Well, you have to be fully repentant of your sins as well, and honestly repentant as you die.
I didn't pay that much attention in church, but
Okay.
either way. Yeah, they never really emphasized that. Also, you gotta, be repentant and all that stuff. It was just like, yeah, you just gotta believe in them and you're in. That was more of the religious instruction I was brought up with.
That's unfortunate. I was brought up in a Catholic church, and we had a large emphasis on your deeds. I mean, of course, it was also it's also bad, but there was still lots of focus on helping your community, and a little bit less focus on the homophobia stuff, and so it was good.
Yeah, the Catholics are simultaneously the most conservative and progressive branch of Christianity out there. Like, it's really weird. There's like, yeah, you gotta try and be a good person and all that stuff. Like, just believing doesn't get you in. Your soul's gonna be waiting. At the same time, it's just like, do gay people really deserve to get married? Like,
Yeah, it's interesting like that.
it's very like
okay.
talking to my Catholic friend is just like, no, we don't actually believe in like the Moses story. It's like an allegory, and it's just like,
Yeah,
whereas
Catholics are weird.
Whereas like in the churches I went to, no, that shit happened. Like, there was a flood, 50 people lived or whatever, one animal each. They all made it.
Yeah, Catholics are contextualists.
And then,
so we think that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Catholic anymore, but we think that the Bible is stories you build context from, not literal.
Yeah, that's a much better way of looking at it, at least.
Right. If Gabe told you that he was the next coming of Jesus Christ, would that be more or less believable than BG being the Antichrist?
Oh, okay. I'd say it'd be less believable.
Correct answer.
Because I don't know who the Antichrist is, but I know Gabe's not Christ. So,
Right.
there's
That's
a
fair.
chance with BG. Gabe's not saving any of them.
Here's another. I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll with questions here. So if okay, no, here. Sorry. Can you find me a female celebrity, or we can use your lovely partner if the answer is truly that. Can you find me a female celebrity that you think is the most attractive? Unless you're gay or like unless you're bisexual, and then this question doesn't really have a lot of meaning. I'm assuming you're straight.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not really not an obvious assumption necessarily. So you're straight. So can you tell me like a female celebrity that you think is like really attractive?
God, what's her name? Emily Blunt, is that her name?
Oh,
Emily.
Okay.
Yeah,
she's the girl from.
Really attractive.
She's the girl from
Quiet Place.
Yeah, she's married to what's
probably the biggest one. John Krasinski.
Yeah, Jim. Okay, so Emily Blunt with a cock and balls, or Chris Hemsworth with a vagina. Both of them proposition you for sex. Who would you have sex with?
Well, I would say who's the most handsome man you can think of, and then that person with a pussy.
Okay.
Because he might not be attracted to Chris.
Well, he's not attracted to any men.
Well, that's not true.
Well, he said he's fully straight.
Well, there are men that he's going to find attractive, and there's men that he's not going to find attractive.
I'm able to tell if a man's attractive.
Okay,
like I'm not just. I don't walk down the street and say all these dudes look at me.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but I'm just saying you're not going to be sexually attracted. So just give me the most handsome man. Then.
I just walk down the street and it's just like there's no crossing signs, just a red circle with a line through it and a shadowy outline of a dude walking by. That's how I see the world.
I wish that's how I saw the world. God, some of the guys I see are it makes me jealous. Sorry. So yeah, who's the most handsome man then? Do we have to give a handsome man? Does that make it harder?
Let me think about who I think is the most handsome man.
The most dashing dude.
We can use Chris Hemsworth for this example. He's pretty good looking.
He is.
Yeah. I think I'd go Chris Hemsworth with the vagina.
Wow.
Okay.
That is stunning.
That is pretty stunning.
Can you explain why?
Well, I don't think I'd enjoy being pegged.
You don't have to.
That's
not. Doesn't have to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like dick. I do like vagina. So that's really what it boils down to.
But how does it boil? Well, you could turn Emily Blunt around like a pancake and just not even.
Well, does she still have her vagina?
No. She has a cock and balls. I'm saying that you could just that she has an asshole.
I don't think I can handle like my balls slapping into her balls while I'm thrusting into her. Like I feel like that's just a line I can't deal with.
Okay, so you would grab Chris Hemsworth's mighty pecs. He would dwarf you, like he would make you look like he would make you look like a child.
Well, I think in either of these situations it'd have to be doggy style. Like I don't think I could look.
So
at
his plump male figure, his ass and his huge back muscles are looking back at you.
Absolutely, just ripped, shredded.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm Thor. Oh, that feels good. That feels
his
good."
His extremely broad shoulders.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with it. Like,
okay.
I think that's where I would fall. Like if I had to choose one, I think.
I respect that.
All right, that's
like
fair.
Dance with the Devil, I guess.
Yeah, Dance with the Dead. So what'd you say? Okay.
Learned a lot about Capital Skis today. He's bisexual.
I mean, sure, that's one takeaway.
Do you think
I'm not, but we all learn things.
Do you think women getting the right to vote was like a mistake?
No, just because. What, you think women weren't getting their voices heard? It's just a lot less. I think this is more direct with how they get their vote out now. They don't have to badger their husbands anymore.
Yeah, there's less nagging. Am I right, guys? Hey-o.
If this is less nagging, then oh boy.
Yeah, imagine how
bad it must have been back then. No wonder they got the two-hander now. Okay, all
Real
right.
battle axe.
Real battle axe. You must know you got a battle axe yourself.
You know what?
right?
Actually, I take that back because back then you were still allowed to hit women. So I think
Well,
maybe they weren't getting their point to the polls as much as they thought. So yeah, either way.
But here's let me tie this up though in a not Hillary Clinton. Right? So
what?
you go from women being allowed to vote to Hillary Clinton, and that's I would probably wager to say that Margaret Thatcher and Hillary Clinton. I think they're not great. I'd go out on a limb and say that.
Yeah, that's fair to say.
So just food for thought, right?
Yeah, sure.
If you had a fursona, what do you think it would be?
A fursona. So like, what animal would I identify with, or
Like, what animal would you wear? Like,
what exactly is a
furry,
persona?
It's like you wear a furry suit.
What would I wear? I don't know. Wolves. Let's go with that. A wolf.
Does Adidas know that?
Very. Well, she does now. So
Well, don't call her Adidas, Liam. That's kind of fucked.
also, I have to run to the bathroom real quick.
Yeah, sure. Take a.
All right, take a little break. Yeah. So, Gabe, while we wait for Skis to come back.
What's up, buddy?
What
do you think? What do you think? How you think you're doing?
Yeah. You gotta. I've been running off a lot of questions here. We gotta get you in there.
I thought you did a really good job grifting, by the way.
What do you mean grifting? That was not grift.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. We're still on
You
air.
okay? Okay.
This is all staying in the video.
I need to pee. I should have gone pee.
I don't know how much longer we're gonna be. Maximum 20 minutes.
Okay, I'm ready for another hour.
No. You gotta have some questions lined up though. I've been dominating here.
I like to be dominated. What can I say?
Do you want to do like a little bit? Really quick
What do you mean?
before he comes back.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll be a butler, and you'll be like the old guy who like orders me around. Ready, go.
Have you seen my amethyst butt plug?
Hello, sir. What? Pardon me.
Have you seen my amethyst butt plug?
Your amethyst butt plug, sir. Which one are you talking about? The green one or the red one?
The purple one. It's purple. It's amethyst, you fucking idiot.
Oh, I'm so sorry. When did you get that one?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Well, where did you have it last, sir? And I'll go and try and retrieve
It was
it.
in
for
my
you.
ass.
Oh, have you checked your ass again, sir? Let me check your ass for you. It's not in there.
Why are you putting the moves on me?
No, it's I am your butler, sir. I must check every orifice. It's not in your ass, though. Where did you have it in your ass?
You know, Steven, you have a nice cock.
Sir, I live to serve.
Pull it out.
Okay, sir.
I want to see it.
Zip.
Zip.
That was the
Wow.
zipper.
Your zipper sounds weird. Can you do it again?
Zip. Zip.
It made a different noise that time. What's going on? Do it again.
Zip. Zip.
This must be a newfangled smart zipper or something. That's weird.
It's not a YYZ. No. Anyway, here it is.
What's his YYZ?
It's like the brand.
What the
of
fuck
zipper.
is that?
It's a zipper. That's the zipper brand. Literally every zipper is that.
Why are you out of character?
Literally every zipper is that, sir.
I ain't never heard of no YYZ zippers.
Can I put
All
my
right,
can I put
I'm-
my can I put my
This is
cock
YKK.
away? Oh, hello.
Hello.
All right. Ready for this one? This is a real barn burner.
All right.
Fuck, marry, kill Hillary Clinton, Michellle Obama, Ronald Reagan. Go.
Fuck Hillary Clinton, marry Michellle Obama, kill Ronald Reagan.
Okay, nice.
Ooh, that is the wrong answer, but
What's your answer, Liam? Go ahead.
fuck Ronald Reagan, marry Michellle Obama, and kill Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I think you're right. I think that is the right answer. True.
Yeah, I guess if you're able to fuck Ronald Reagan, you could then like leak it to the press and just sink that whole campaign before it starts.
I think if you fucked
yeah.
Ronald Reagan and leaked it to the press, they'd be like, he's alive. He's fucking back from the dead. It's amazing.
Someone fucked Ronald Reagan's dead body.
Okay, in my fantasy, this is a time travel related sexual escapade. So
In your
okay,
so you
that's
often fantasize about fucking Ronald Reagan in a time travel
In the
escapade?
past. In the past.
this is your Jane KP, not mine. Like I said, I'd kill him.
Oh yeah, right.
True.
You're the one who wants to fuck him.
True.
I forgot. Okay. So Lard asks, if you had to make something like a food, and like you have to make it for Adisa, what does she want you to make? Do you cook? Do you bake? Like, is there something like anniversary dinner? Think like, something nice, like not Christmas because you also have a turkey then, like something where you can choose, like it's a nice anniversary dinner or something, but you're having it at home.
I don't know. Probably just mac and cheese or something.
Mac and cheese. It's your anniversary dinner, man. You're having mac and cheese.
Okay, first of all, this is my relationship. You don't.
Can we get Adisa? Can we get Adisa? Is Adisa here?
Offended. Yeah, she's on the couch right across.
Did she hear that? Or do you have headphones on?
No, she didn't. I have headphones on.
Can you tell her? Can you relay the question to Adisa and get an answer?
Yeah. Hey, for our anniversary, and I was gonna cook you something. What would you want me to cook? He says pizza.
Yeah, the answer wasn't pizza.
You can make pizza.
You can make a pizza?
man.
Yeah, she would want to like homemade pizza.
Oh, that's sick.
Maybe homemade chocolate chip cookies. She says.
Okay, well that's not really dinner, but
That's
okay.
not dinner. I think both
We're very low maintenance when it comes to food. We eat the same things every day. Every
play it
day
fast
of the
and
week.
loose.
I really didn't think I really thought Adisa was gonna be upset about the mac and cheese answer, but I guess not.
They have been together for 2 years, Liam.
And I don't even know her.
Yeah,
right?
if our anniversary is on a Monday, we're having mac and cheese.
Hell
mac
yeah.
and cheese Mondays.
Yeah.
Okay. Has she ever like patted your belly and called you Tub Tub?
She is not. No,
Would you like her to?
I would not. Would not like anyone to.
So if I came to where are you moving? Syracuse? No, that's where you are.
Denver.
If I flew to Denver, Gabe's actually flying to Denver soon, I think. If
I
I
am.
flew to,
Sure.
that's fun. If I flew to Denver and I patted you on the belly and said, "Hi, Tub Tub,"
I don't know. Well, I don't know what you look like. So first of all, I would think, what the fuck did this stranger do to me? And then
You'd recognize Liam when
you would
see
know.
him.
You would know.
Yeah, you would know. You would know.
would know. without a shadow of a doubt.
He's like Smeagol if Smeagol was 6 foot tall. Are you a top or a bottom?
Me?
Yeah.
We switch it around.
Why
Fucking
does Adisa know?
You guys have like a dream relationship. I'm just gonna point that out. I love you guys.
What?
All the best. Mac and cheese Mondays, and you guys are both switches. That's amazing.
Yeah, like depends on like what
Goals.
going on. Yeah.
Does Adisa know that this is going out to the internet?
Yeah, she knows.
Oh God.
Is she gonna watch it?
No, she's not gonna watch it. No one's gonna watch this.
What do you mean?
True.
Yes.
I can guarantee you there are a few people who
God,
watch the entire thing.
We're almost.
We need
we're
to make
almost
sure
2
BG
hours
watches
in. If
BG
we didn't
has to
lose
watch it.
people at my slow beginning before we get into like my.
I think we have to interview
grudge
BG
list.
next.
Oh, can
With
we?
my grudge list, we definitely lost them with the politics.
Can I interview BG?
Let's interview BG next.
Okay, wait.
And
Can we
then-
do-
Oh my God, he
I want to do a
jump
bit.
at the chance
I want to
be
do a
on,
bit. I want to do a bit. I want to do a
hockey.
bit. Skis, you have to be
Sure.
BG. We're gonna restart the podcast. You're gonna give us 5 minutes of what you imagine BG's podcast would sound like. Okay, we're gonna restart the podcast. Pretend you're BG.
Wait. I don't know what. Am I BG or am I the guest? BG is a guest or am I hosting the podcast?
No. You are BG. You are the guest. Gabe and I are the hosts still. I want to see
Okay.
what you would think
Okay.
this podcast would look like with BG. Ready? All right, 5, 4, 3,
Okay,
2,
let's
1, go. Welcome to the Manufacturing Consent Minus 72 podcast. I'm your host, Kill Pelso. With me is DMB Flowers, and our guest today is BG. Say hello, BG.
Hey guys.
So BG, who is your favorite person in HQM?
Crab or Dyal, probably.
Why do you quit on teams?
Why don't teams ever ask me if I want to be on them?
Oh,
It's not my fault you traded for me.
okay. So Capital Skis and Kill Pestle and I have both called you a overgrown man child of a person. What is your response to that?
Well,
What?
these guys are just losers. Like,
Okay.
I don't know, I care. I mean, I know I listened to the full episode, but do I really care about their opinion? Like, I got my buddies online. And they don't say these things to my face.
What is the condition of your home, and how is your job and your life? Are you succeeding in life, would you say?
Oh, last I told Skis, I lived with my parents 4 years ago, so take that for what you will.
Gabe, do you have any questions?
I don't.
Oh man, this one, BG man, if you're listening, it's
Please
all
come on the show.
It's all in good fun. Please come on the show.
Talk to us about it. Talk to us about it. Air your grievances.
Yeah, we want to hear your
everything.
side. We want to hear
We
your
do.
side. This
We
is
do.
unfair. I like that Skis, I think, held his nose with his finger, or with his, like, pinched the bridge of his
I
nose.
did, yes.
Yeah.
I
It was like
really
a Squidward
committed.
almost. Yeah.
He has a nasally voice. I don't think anyone can deny that.
Yeah, he's like if the Grinch was, I don't know.
Like you crossed the Grinch with Squidward.
Yes, there we go. Thank you for
Yeah.
supplying me with what I wanted,
Yeah.
what I needed. And that's why we make such a good team, you and I.
Also, that living with his parents thing is true. I don't know if they still do. I don't know the exact specifics of the situation. Him and his parents cohabitate.
Are you
last
saying?
I heard.
Are you saying that
That
like,
wasn't.
is that a bad thing to cohabitate with your parents?
I have no
No.
idea.
No.
It is a funny thing.
It is a funny thing. That is true. That is true.
So is it funny that Gabe lives with his parents?
Yes. It is also funny that you live with your parents, Liam.
It's not funny that I live with my parents. I'm 20 years old.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty
This
funny.
really makes me seem old.
I'm 20 years old. Me living with
I
my
mean,
parents is
you're
not
being
fun.
really Liam. You're being really defensive right now. Come on. It's okay.
It's-
just
it's-
like have a
it's
good.
okay.
Just have a sense of humor about it. Okay. It's okay, buddy.
Yeah, but it's a lot different than a 26
It's
year
good,
old.
Dude, calm down, buddy. Okay, just take it easy.
I'm
Mom
on
and
alright?
Pop up
It's
still
okay.
talking tonight. It's all right.
I'm
It's not a big
completely-
deal.
I'm,
It's not a big deal.
I am completely fine.
You need, Liam. You need. This is getting awkward. You need to stop.
Your
It's
mom
okay.
gets up at 4 a.m. when you finally start nodding off at your computer screen and gives you a little peck on the forehead and said night night, and she goes back to sleep and gets up in the morning and goes to work like any mother would.
My mom doesn't.
Yeah.
My mom doesn't work.
Shout out to Karen.
She doesn't work.
She's a beautiful woman.
She doesn't work.
Boy,
Okay.
is she beautiful.
Let's
Wow.
not understate it. She lives with you. She works.
Okay, that was pretty good. Man, we got some zingers in here. Right, but Gabe lives with his parents. So do you think he's like a loser, like a no life piece of shit? Like, would you say that?
No, I
Listen,
think
you're
Gabe's
lashing
saving
out,
money.
buddy. You're lashing out, buddy. It's okay.
Yeah, Gabe's just saving money.
Yeah,
Making,
Saving with what?
move
With what?
on
What
with
money
other
is he
things
he
saving?
does in life.
I'm figuring it out.
What money is he
I don't
saving?
know. Do you have a job, Gabe?
Not currently, no.
Okay, so
Yeah,
really putting all your eggs in this podcast box.
I am.
All right.
It's true.
Well,
What do you think?
Hey, man. Listen, man. Okay, in a couple of years, me and Liam are both gonna work at Starbucks, and it's gonna be great. Okay.
Oh my god, you'd be the worst shift
couple
partner.
of years, they're hiring now.
It's true. Yeah, get on it.
True.
Kidding me? That sweet minimum wage in
The
Dallas,
sweet
Texas?
Starbucks money, dude. The sweet
Yeah.
$7.25 min wage, dude.
You get half off your coffees. What's not the like?
I don't even drink coffee. All right, Skis.
That's
As
crazy.
do I, actually.
I've got another question. I've got a lot. This is good. I'm doing a good job. So
right.
what's like a thing that you would say about yourself, like a talent or just like a characteristic about you, like kind of like an icebreakery type thing, but like be more personal about it because we know you, right? What's like something that people wouldn't guess about you just by looking at you? Maybe the cycling is something, but let's, we've already talked about that. So like, what's something people wouldn't guess about you, or not many people know that you're proud of, or maybe you're not proud of it, but you like to mention it.
I don't know. I kind of work all of, like, the stuff I'm proud of into conversations, so hard to say what people don't know.
Right.
I will say between my junior year and senior year of high school, I toured the country as part of like a semi-professional marching band. And
Wow.
that was really fun, and I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah.
What did you
That's
like?
crazy.
Did you like clang the cymbals together? Like, what did you do?
No, I played the baritone.
The baritone saxophone?
Marching around playing the baritone. No, like the baritone.
What is a baritone? What is
The
that?
instrument.
I thought it was like a type of
tuba,
saxophone.
but smaller.
Oh. I thought it was like a type of saxophone.
It is. The
Like,
exclusive.
have you ever seen a tuba and thought, I thought they were bigger? That's a baritone.
So like, so you were like this big chunky guy playing the baritone.
No, I was in the best shape of my life at that point. Like, it's really like you're basically outside all day. Like, so in the morning you wake up at 6 a.m. You do like an hour of PT, eat breakfast, and you have 4 hours of visual rehearsal where you do like marching around, learn your field book and that stuff, where to march, when to march, that kind of stuff, what tempo, all that. And then at that level, it's basically like pretty comparable to any other sport. And then like it's very cardiovascularly intensive. And then on top of that, you aren't allowed to breathe as much as you want because you have to play an instrument. And in the afternoon, you spend another 4 hours doing music practice, where it's not as cardio intensive, but you still have to stand up and like hold your instrument up the whole time, which is very difficult. It's like holding a 15-pound weight in front of you for 10 minutes. Is basically what you have to do. So it doesn't sound hard, but it is pretty difficult. And then you eat dinner, and then after dinner you have a full ensemble rehearsal where all the winds, the percussion, and the color guard get together, and you practice for 2 more hours. There's like 10 hours of practice in a day. And then at the end of the day, you get on a bus and you drive to the next city or town.
Right.
Real shit,
so
dude.
you did all of that for something that nobody likes. That's dedication.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
A lot of people like marching band.
I
What are you
liked it.
talking
Like,
about?
it's got a pretty big following. Like,
Yeah, marching band is cool, dude.
I think the biggest crowd I ever performed in front of was probably, I don't know, 15,000.
15,000?
Yeah.
And you were the main attraction, like your marching band.
No, we were one of the bad corps. Like the really good ones, DCI, what the organization's called DCI. They have their finals at Lucas Oil Stadium, where the Colts play, and they will sell out half of it, so 30,000 people.
Jesus Christ! Just to watch marching bands?
Yeah.
Why?
It's really impressive. It's basically watching 150 people run around the field while playing a classical music concert.
Wow. When you put it that way. So what were you playing, like Ode to Joy, or like?
God, no. We played William Tell. That was one song. Bridge Over Troubled Water. We had a very like new wave show that was kind of gimmicky, but whatever. And then I forget what else we played that year.
Cool.
But yeah, if you ever want to like look it up, just look up like Blue Devils DCI, and then any other videos. There's like just ridiculous how good they are at playing while doing the crazy shit that they're doing on the field.
Would you like me to pull up like a 30-second clip for the podcast right now? for our
Sure.
viewers.
Is it going to get recorded? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, for our viewers. So it'll be like a little. So Blue Devils. I don't want to show my YouTube. Oh God, look at my YouTube. Okay, Blue Devils DCI.
Oof, dude.
Yeah.
All right, sick. Okay, I'll play like a metamorph victory run. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh God, they're not even moving. What is this? Oh, here they go.
Wow. It probably starts slow.
Wow, look at them go. I skipped ahead a little bit.
That's fine. Yeah.
Whoa! What are those guys spinning?
Flags, sabers, or rifles, probably.
Right, but you weren't one of those people. You were like actually playing the instrument.
No, I played an instrument. Yeah.
But you had people ahead of you that would like spin something.
Yeah. Oh God, there's one video out there where like it's a video of a guy, because you're not allowed to move. Like whatever happens to you while you're performing. So this guy is just playing his trumpet, and the color guard person throws her rifle up in the air, and it's not a good throw. She's not going to catch it, and it's going to hit this guy. And this guy knows it, and you can see him just looking at it, continuing to play his trumpet. And then he was actually one of the instructors when I was doing it, which was hilarious.
Wow, this is amazing. Huh. So when you went to school, did you get beaten up because you did this, or?
No, my school was weird. Marching band was really popular, actually, and our football team was a joke. Like most of the people who went to the games went to see us in marching
Where'd
band.
you grow up?
Northern Virginia.
Okay. Interesting.
Did you own a plantation in Northern Virginia? Is that the bad one?
No,
I think both Virginias are equally bad.
Depends who you ask. Northern Virginia, as a proud Northern Virginia guy, Northern Virginia is easily the best part of that state. It's basically one big suburban sprawl for Washington, D.C. Like if you ever meet someone who says, "Yeah, I'm from D.C.," they're either from Northern Virginia or Maryland, probably. But that is where I grew up. D.C. suburbs, an hour away from D.C.
Have you ever watched Whiplash?
I have watched Whiplash. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Did you have anyone like that, like Fletcher from Whiplash? Any like they'd scream at you and call you, say,
No.
"There's not a fucking Mars bar down there. What are you looking at?"
No, I never had any instructors like that. I don't think many instructors are like that. I think it's a lot more positive reinforcement. Also, if you're at Juilliard, like you're not going to get that much better with that kind of that whole movie's like about Stockholm syndrome or some shit. Like, there's no positives coming out of that movie.
Right. Yeah. He succeeds in spite of. It's really not really a sad movie. Really, like it's not.
No. He succeeds in spite of any other part of his life. Like at the beginning of the movie, he has a girlfriend. He talks to his dad. He has some form of social life, and then this instructor just absolutely beats him down. He breaks him down. So he starts to isolate himself. He doesn't go to the movies with his dad anymore. He breaks up with his girlfriend, and then he just putting himself through the physical ringer. Gets in a car crash. Comes back to play. Like the dude's doing everything he can to like be the best drummer he can be, but he really shouldn't be. That's the whole point.
Right, and that rings true for you in HQM. It's like HQM is like your Whiplash moment.
Who's Fletcher?
Oh God. I don't know.
Didn't have like
It's
an early.
KP.
Didn't have. Yeah, is it me?
It wasn't KP. No, it wasn't you. I don't know. Yeah, you know what? It might have been Claude Giroux.
Wow.
Interesting. Not that he like actually like was trying to make me better, but like my first LHL season, I was on that awful Philadelphia team, and we were just getting mercied like every other day. Like you know how it is. It's like being on a team with you now, KP.
Yeah.
and then just and then at one point it got out that he was calling me fiery fucking garbage. And then at that point I demanded a trade. That's actually how I ended up on Abe's team that season. Through a series of trades. And then I went on this unbelievable run. Like, it was right when Pub Stars came out too. I led the first season. I was the best player. I had the highest elo the first season of Pub Stars that came out. Just to like spite him. I think I started off with a 10-0 run. And then I lost like 5 games that whole season.
Wow.
And it was unjustly cut short. So sure, let's go with Claude.
Wow. That's amazing. Gabe, what do you got?
What do you mean?
What do you got?
Nothing.
I'm reaching near the end here. I think we can. I didn't want to do this long. So let's first. We have a tradition here on our podcast that we'll get to later. So first, plug anything. Talk about anything we haven't discussed yet. Is there something you badly were excited to be asked about that we didn't ask you about?
No, I think all the questions you asked, I kind of expected after listening to the last one.
Did you listen to the whole thing, the last one?
I did listen to the whole thing. Actually,
Okay.
I found it pretty funny, pretty much. So I know what's coming too.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How did you think about this one? Did you think that this one was fun? I thought this one was pretty good. I thought that it wasn't going to be near as good as Dyal,
Yeah,
but it was good in a different way.
I thought once I warmed up, it was I thought I started a little cold, but
I thought once we got into BG, it was exploded. Like we.
Oh yeah. Really heated things up.
Yeah, I think once we got into my trials and tribulations, things really started ticking up.
I thought you talking about your girlfriend was cute too.
Definitely.
And like how fat you are. I mean, how fat you were. Your weight. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. How fat? Yeah, I feel that was pretty open and honest about that.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I mean, so if I pinch your belly and call you Tub, yeah, okay.
I will not be happy. No.
I'll do that.
I'm not okay with that.
No, you're okay with that now. You've reached a point where I'm allowed to do that. That's good. I'm glad. So I'll do one last question before we get into my favorite tradition. Do you know who Jordan Peterson is?
Oh God, he's the is he the turning point guy?
No, that's Charlie
No.
Kirk.
Charlie Kirk, Jordan Peterson.
Talks like this. He talks like this.
I don't listen to any of those dudes.
About the Chaos Dragon? A femininity?
I
No?
don't.
Doesn't
I
ring a
think
bell?
I've heard of him. I don't think I know that much about it.
Damn.
Is he
We've
one of
reached
those right-wing,
we've
like,
gone
hacks?
past a turning point where women can't be in the workplace. Why do they wear makeup?
We don't know what the rules are.
We don't know what the rules are anymore.
Okay, yeah. So he's like one of those right-wing.
Yeah.
He's a professor at the University of
on-artist
Toronto.
dickheads, yeah.
He's a professor at the University of
Well-
Toronto. He's a Canadian psychologist, and he's famous for opposing a bill that
Of course, he's
protected.
Canadian. Canadians love nothing better than chiming in on what they think America's doing wrong.
Well,
so they can quickly follow suit.
no, this is unfair. He chimed in on a Canadian bill of transgender rights, and he opposed it on the basis of being forced, quote unquote, to call someone by a different pronoun than their sex. That was his argument. That was going to be my question. That was going to be like the bit of the question. I was going to ask you who he was, if you knew who he was, and then nothing else. So we'll end it there.
Like I've heard of him. I think I just don't. I knew he was like one of those right-wing guys, but that's as far as I knew.
Gabe loves him.
What?
Gabe's a big fan.
Of Jordan Peterson? I was.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, Gabe
I was in the
pipe-
pipe. I was in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Actually no. I never was. Watching Jordan Peterson is what like brought me out of it.
You should email him that.
yeah. That's. I mean, I guess he grew up in Texas, like everyone.
Yeah, I grew up watching Glenn Beck with my mom. Yeah.
Skis, do you think that you can be a Republican and like still be like a good person, like at the end of the day?
No.
I go back and forth on this a lot. I think you can be Republican for two reasons. You're either ignorant or you're selfish. I don't think being ignorant means you're a horrible person. I think there's a lot of people who grow up in the right-wing propaganda sphere and they just don't know any better. And it's really hard if your entire family is like that, your school is like that, growing up was like that. It's very hard to separate yourself from that. I actually think my neighborhood was kind of like that growing up. Like I grew up in a very wealthy white neighborhood, so I remember a lot of us high schoolers were upset that Obama won re-election. Like all my band friends just like, man, fucking Florida cost us, and it's just like, what? And it's not like those opinions were theirs. It's just they're just parenting what their parents were saying. So it's just like. So I think it's hard to get out of that, especially growing up, and it's just.
But you're enlightened, like you're an enlightened intellect, like you've reached a different level.
Yeah, I'm better than them. Yes, yeah, of course.
Right. That's fair. Yeah, no, that's true. Okay. Whew, boy, I don't. Yeah, so let's. You know what? This is. We're really hitting a good spot here. I think we've really hit our stride. So quit while we're ahead. Stride. You hit our. We hit our cycle. Maybe a better word. We hit. What do you call it in cycling? We hit our.
It's called a stride, I think.
No, you don't stride.
I think a stride is a figure of speech, I think.
Yeah, but
right?
I'm trying to change the figure of speech so that it suits cycling.
Right, but you don't say stride specifically just for walking.
No,
right?
you don't, but that's the whole point. I'm trying to make a joke. Like the joke is that instead of saying figure of speech for stride.
You're trying to be funny again. Oh, jeez.
Oh, here, try again.
Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
I don't have one. We're in the in the cycle. What's like the peak? What's the peak moment of a cycle race?
I feel like I'm watching someone drown. Where's Xi Jingping with the life raft?
We're in our draft. We're hitting our draft. We're drafting right now. We're coasting behind first place. Right. Our hands aren't even on the pedals anymore. Our hands aren't even on the handlebars anymore.
All right. So, what's the bit we're gonna do?
Let's do a cycling themed one.
Okay.
So,
right.
Skis, you're the cycling instructor, and Gabe, and you're in a gym.
Can I be Lance Armstrong?
You're from Texas. I mean, if anyone has a right to it.
Yeah,
Was Lance Armstrong from Texas?
Yeah, he's from Austin, Texas.
I had no idea. What a fun fact.
Oh God, I read a biography, one of his autobiographies when I was in elementary school, and when everyone wanted to be a cyclist because he was so fucking good. Lance Armstrong was the fucking shit. Like
he was the shit. He had cancer.
7 straight Tour de France wins, and then he cheated. So did everyone else.
Yeah, isn't cheating really pervasive in cycling? Don't they all cheat?
Cheating is very pervasive in every professional sport. Cycling is just caught the most.
Okay, hockey players don't cheat, okay, fucker? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Fuck you.
But it's not cheating. It's legal steroiding, pretty much. Yeah, but every professional athlete's just on some shit that's not illegal yet. Like the whole Liverpool soccer team is diagnosed with asthma.
Wait, is that real?
They all have prescriptions for inhalers.
What the fuck? That's really funny.
Yeah,
and the NHS is crazy.
Yeah, and then it's just inhalers also help you breathe better. Yeah,
they are. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about where professional sports are at.
Okay.
Just take a quick puff of the inhaler before, whether or not you need it beforehand, and then open those lungs up. And
that's a good point. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff going on in hockey. I mean, we know that they take all sorts of different pills and stuff, and it's like whether or not they're like what drugs they actually are.
These European kids aren't putting on 20 pounds of muscle between their first and second seasons on their naturally.
Well, you did
They're
lose.
absolutely taking.
Are you taking steroids? Because you lost a bunch of weight.
No, I'm not.
Well, so
No.
theoretically they could gain it naturally if you lost it naturally.
Yeah, but I'm not gaining any weight muscle with muscle. I'm just shedding.
You could lift
pretty
Adisa over and over again. That's not a fat joke, by the
probably.
way. That did not.
Maybe twice.
Yeah, that didn't.
Maybe twice.
I didn't want that to be a fat joke. I just meant as like.
That was pretty crass. That was pretty
Yeah,
crass,
I'm
Liam.
sorry.
It's okay,
I'm
buddy.
offended.
All right, so
I'm offended.
all right, so you're a cycling instructor. It's a private lesson. We're on like the stationary bikes. Gabe, you are Lance Armstrong. You said.
Oh God.
I don't want to be Lance Armstrong.
Okay, who do you want to
I don't know. Give me something good.
be?
You can be Greg LeMond, the other American to win the Tour de France.
No one's gonna be
Who?
Greg LeMond.
Greg
no, one,
LeMond.
no one wants to be Greg LeMond. I'd rather be fucking dead than.
I don't think
LeMond.
Greg LeMond wants to be Greg LeMond. I don't know who that is. Is he
He's
good?
the only American to win a Tour de France without doping. So
What about Carl
Holy
Malone,
shit.
Gabe? You could be Carl Malone.
I'm
Malone.
not going to be Carl Malone. He's a basketball player. He
Um,
was portrayed infamously in blackface by Jimmy Kimmel.
yeah.
I'll
And
be honest, these references are going pretty over my head.
you don't know who
You don't know who
Jimmy
Jimmy
Kimmel
Kimmel
is?
No, I know who Jimmy Kimmel is. I don't know who Carl Malone.
He's a basketball player who
Yeah, we
was
got-
portrayed in blackface by Jimmy Kimmel. What's getting lost here?
The core concept.
Of blackface? He wore black makeup to look like a black person.
We didn't cut someone's face off.
Do you not know what
No.
blackface
No one
is?
said, "Hey guys, I'm Carl Malone." No, I know what.
Okay, guys, I'm Kamala.
Don't do the voice, Gabe. Jesus.
What? I just said what Capital Skis said.
Okay. Who are you gonna be, man? You gotta pick
I'll
somebody.
be Lance Armstrong, yeah,
Oh,
sure.
God.
Alright.
Should I be Lance Reddick then?
Who's Lance Reddick?
Who?
From The Wire.
Who? Is he black?
Yeah.
Liam.
His name's Lance.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna be-
Oh, I know who Lance Reddick is.
Yeah, he's
Isn't
what
he in
character was
Horizon
he
Zero
from?
Dawn?
maybe he's in Destiny.
He has that voice, right? The
He's
good
like,
one?
Hey, it's me, Lance Reddick,
Yeah, I know Lance Reddick. I know his voice. Nice.
Guardian. He's in Destiny. If you ever played Destiny 2.
I don't play Destiny.
I do not know who Lance Reddick is.
Okay.
What character was he in The Wire?
One of them. I don't know.
All right.
Okay, so you're Lance Armstrong. I'm gonna be like just like a character of my own
I'm
devising.
not, man. Oh boy, this is gonna be rough.
So and then capital skis. You can either be yourself or a cycling instructor, but we're gonna walk into your private 1-on-2 class. Are you ready?
1-on-2 class. Okay.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Okay, so you're being yourself, KP?
Well, I'm being like a character. I'm being to be a little character.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm the instructor, Lance Armstrong. You're
I'll introduce myself.
someone.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you ready? Okay, ready?
Let's go.
All right, ready? Ding dong.
Who is it?
Lance, you want to tell me who he is?
This is Lance Stanley Armstrong.
Fucking get fuck off. Lance Armstrong isn't coming into my cycling studio.
Listen. I had COVID and I forgot how to cycle because of the fog, the long term effects of COVID. So I need lessons.
Hello, open the
You were
door.
running now.
Open the door. Open the
Who is
door,
this gremlin?
please. Open the door. I'm not a gremlin.
You know
This is my he's my accountant.
Your accountant.
I'm not a
All right.
gremlin. No.
Oh, come on in.
This is Lance
Come on in,
Armstrong.
guys.
Yeah, I'm Lance Armstrong.
My name is Mabel.
Welcome.
Mabel?
Yeah, Mabel Mabelson.
Of course.
Welcome to the studio, guys.
I need to know how to
Make
cycle.
yourself at home, I guess.
Is that a stationary bike?
You know how to say.
Is that a Peloton?
Is that a Peloton?
What? No. This is a quality machine, not a Peloton.
What's it called?
Oh.
So Lance, how
Yeah.
things been for you, man?
Well, I have one ball, and I had COVID as well, which caused me to forget how to cycle.
He's got one ball, but lots of dreams.
But you remember you only have one ball?
I do. Well, I mean, I'm confronted with it every day. You know.
That reality is
that you
cold
can
and
forget.
harsh every day.
It's not something that you can forget. You know.
I also have one ball, but it wasn't
sorry,
because
why
of
is it-
cancer.
I had cancer.
Yeah, did the COVID fog make you forget that?
Well, sir, why do you?
Sir.
Sir?
Sir, why do you have one ball?
I'm a uniballer. I'm like
What does that mean?
I'm rare. It's a rare genetic defect.
Who are you?
My name's Mabelson. I'm 5'3". I'm like Gabe height.
Are you sure you're not a gremlin?
No, I'm not
Who?
a little gremlin. No, I'm not a little goblin.
Who are you who?
Stop! I'm not a little goblin. I'm a human. My skin's green because of the sickness. I'm not a goblin.
Oh my god. You're a goblin from World of Warcraft.
I'm not a little goblin. No, stop.
I remember you. I saw you in Booty Bay. You're not there.
No, I wasn't in Booty
All
Bay.
right,
That's
two-
not real.
Oh, maybe it was Gadgetson.
Yeah, it might have been gadgets.
All right, so I guess two legends in my studio today. I got Lance Armstrong and the Goblin from Booty
My name is
Bay.
Lance Armstrong, not Lamps Armstrong. Sorry, I just wanted to correct you because
Can we get on a
I'm
bike?
Lance Armstrong. Do you have a bike tall enough for a goblin?
It's short enough for a goblin.
Sure. Yeah, the seats are adjustable.
Okay.
Okay.
Just all right. How about we hop on?
Let me help you. Let me help you up there, little
Yeah,
guy.
get to touch me.
You need a step
Stop!
stool.
Touch
Stop
my
kicking
ass.
your. Stop
know,
thrashing.
Yeah.
I
Come
can
on.
go ask the daycare next door if there's a rocking.
No,
horse.
just
Maybe
get me on the bike. Get me on there. My legs are too. I can't. My arms are. Get me on there. Lift me up.
Stop kicking around! I can't.
Lift me up.
You're scaring me.
What
You
are
have claws.
No,
Stop.
I put them away.
Your head fell
Oh
off.
God, he's not wearing shoes.
Do you have cycling shoes in his size? Stop thrashing!
I'm gonna need a deposit. I can't afford his claws poking through these shoes.
Deposit, schmozzit. Get me on here.
Mabel, do you have enough for the deposit? I forgot my wallet at home.
I have 400 gold.
That's a glance.
I have gold pieces. How many gold pieces is it for a
Mabel,
deposit?
why are you carrying 400 loose gold coins?
Look, dude, this is presumably somewhere in Texas, man. You think this is a gold exchange?
No,
like,
he backs the gold standard, of course. He's a libertarian.
hey, now let's not insult.
How many gold coins do I have to give you so I can wear your shoes?
How many do you have?
I have 400. I just told you.
350.
Jesus, that's fucking
Wait,
highway
wait.
robbery.
Mabel,
You want the shoes or not?
God damn it.
Mabel, there's gold all over the floor because you were thrashing around like there's gold everywhere.
Let me pick it up.
It's like you're a pinata.
Here's
I
350
feel like if I
gold.
kick you.
Don't kick me. Don't kick me.
All right.
No, stop. No.
Do you know what this converts to in American?
I think $4,000. I think.
All right. Well,
What's the gold?
Don't you have
I guess
a
this'll cover
Bitcoin
it.
or something?
I've got Ethereum. It didn't take off the same way as Bitcoin, but I've got some.
You have what?
I have Ethereum.
How do you spell that?
Ethereum. Ethereum.
Jeez.
Ethereum.
Wow.
I think there's an
Okay.
I in there. I'm gonna
all
miss.
right.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna. Okay. Well, let's put
here's
these little
your,
shoes on you.
Here's your shoes, Mabel.
Okay.
Should put these little shoes on you.
Wow, they're so
Make sure you
tight. My
Jeez,
arches.
Why are your toenails each like 9 inches long?
I'm a goblin. I mean, I'm not a goblin. I'm a person. Oh, they're so tight.
Oh, you cut me.
This
Jeez, I cut myself on your 9-inch long goblin toenail.
I am like the
It's an
band.
American treasure, Mabel.
I'm sorry,
Jesus
Lance.
Christ.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Jesus
Armstrong.
Christ.
Wait, Lance, you're okay with your accountant carrying around $4,000 in gold coins?
I think it might be my money, sir.
It's not all your money. I have other clients.
Do you,
I mean, you know what they say
You
about
follow me
goblins.
around. I've never seen you anywhere other than like around me.
You have COVID fog. You don't know what you're talking about. Get the other shoe on. Come on, get the other shoe on.
Stop thrashing. Stop.
Get it on.
Stay still. Be still, please.
Okay. I'm turning.
Okay, there you go, big guy. There you
All right,
go,
how
okay.
do we ride?
All right, let's do up our shoe straps.
Oh god damn
Try not
it!
to drop any more.
I'm gonna tie your shoes real quick. Double knots so they don't fall off.
Okay,
Oh,
thank
they
you.
don't have laces. They're just like
Oh, they're slippers. Okay.
they're like Velcro straps. Let's
I
say
should
that.
know this because I put them on him, but okay, I'm with you now. I wasn't paying attention, obviously,
All right.
because his
All right,
massive
let's-
toenails were cutting me up.
All right, let's lower the Mabel seat all the way. I've never seen anyone who's 80% torso before. But
It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
I've got a big head too. Don't
Yeah,
forget that.
And ears.
Long ears.
sir, did your parents ever try and teach you to ride a bike?
I
That big in, was it
my,
Booty Bay?
there was no bikes in Booty Bay. Only motorcycles.
That's true. That's true.
Only
That
little
is
carts
true.
and stuff.
All right.
Yeah, that's true.
I was also in Gadget Stand.
Gadget stand.
Gadget Stand.
You have like a weird hat. You should just take that off.
It covers.
What's
something.
up with this hat? What's up with this weird
It
hat?
covers something you don't want to see.
It's like a
Texas in
weird-
June. Why are you wearing a
It's
hat?
like a
man?
weird metal cap.
No,
What? How come I haven't noticed this
It
before?
covers something up.
Why aren't you sweating?
I'm sweating now. Jesus Christ, all these questions. It's like
What's
I'm in a
going-
fucking sauna. Come on, what are you, the FBI on my ass for money, for tax evasion? Let's go. Come on, let's get to ride the bike.
What's up with the hat?
Well, all right. Speaking of sweating, let's get started with the workout. All right, everyone, clip in.
Clip in? What do you mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean? How do I-
Obviously, as Lance could explain to you, these shoes clip into the pedals so they don't.
Well, I don't know anything about cycling because I had COVID. And I was on a ventilator for a short time, and then I woke up, and then Mabel was there.
I was there when you needed me most.
And I don't remember anything from before that, honestly.
Okay.
All I remember is
Alright,
Mabel.
All right, so how do I
All I know
strap
is
in?
Mabel.
I clip in like my shoes. They go into the.
Yeah. So you step on the right pedal, and you'll hear a click.
Oh God,
and
yeah.
you'll
Was that
lift
my
your
knee or the
left foot
pedal?
Over.
Are you okay?
I heard something.
You're
mate.
bleeding.
Lance, I think you're gonna have to lift Mabel up onto the seat. and then
Oh,
you can
God.
Clip in from there.
Here we go. Here we go, buddy.
Stop.
Stop. Come on, please. Okay, here you go. There you go. There you go. Nice and cozy.
So just a note, I think if you don't squirm as much, this might go easier for everyone.
That's what my ex-wife said.
You're married, Mabel?
I said ex-wife. You'll.
Not anymore.
She took everything. She took the gobblenettes. I mean, my kids. Okay, let's
Say goblets.
little goblets. Okay, let's start cycling. Okay, Lance, get on the cycle. Get on the bike.
All
Let's
right,
go. This is all for you, Lance. I only came here for moral
Let's
support.
get to going. Let's get to going. Let's put one foot in front of the other, metaphorically. They don't actually move that far. So just start spinning your legs.
Is it working, Lance? Are you doing it yet?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm sending it.
Hell yeah, wow, Lance, I guess you would be a natural after 7 Tour de France wins.
7 Tour de France wins.
What's that?
Tour de France? It's a Tour of France. It's right in the name.
Okay. I don't speak German, so.
France is in France. French.
Where is that?
France. Other side of the world.
You're saying the word over and over again. It's not gonna help me understand, but thank you, Mabel.
Every time you say something, Lance, I want to smack your head so hard.
Don't hurt me, please. Not in public.
So Mabel,
Yeah.
you're from Booty Bay, right?
Gadget stand.
That's near Tampa?
Yeah, I love the Buccaneers.
Oh, yeah. I know the Buccaneers. Big Tom Brady fan.
You know Tom Brady, but you don't know how to cycle?
What do you mean? He's the greatest football player of all time.
Let's not get carried away, but
The titles don't lie.
And I'm huffing
he's
my
the most
legs.
successful football player to ever cycle. Like,
To cycle.
Never cycle.
but
Was he cycling?
much like you, Mr. Arms. He's not. He's
Oh,
much
fuck.
like you, Mr. Arms.
I fell off the bike. I almost fell off. I fell
Titles
off
aren't everything,
my
aren't
bike.
without help, are they?
How'd you fall off the bike?
I fell off my bike. I fell off my chair in real
Climb
life.
up here, buddy. Climb up here. Sit on my lap.
Okay, I'm sitting on your lap. Oh, it feels so
Here.
warm.
Mabel, how about you just climb on the handlebars? Just,
Why do you smell like radishes?
I had radishes for breakfast. I eat them when I get nervous.
actually, that's us. That's what our.
You smell
We're still
It's like-
zeroing in on the air freshener.
It's sickly. It's sickly. You smell like disease.
Why is the light flickering in this room?
What did you do?
Did I cast a
You're not cycling enough. This is a self-sustainable cycling.
We have to go faster, Maple.
I
Help
can't
me.
on my leg.
Help me.
I'm pushing on your legs.
Maple, jump from one leg to the other. Really
All right,
fast to get the
I'm
power.
doing it. Oof.
You're so athletic, it's deceptive.
Okay.
You're scratching me up, buddy.
I think Mabel's gonna.
God damn it! He ripped the shoes.
Mabel's tapping. I ripped the shoes.
Maple's really tired. Maple's really tired.
We've only been going for 3 minutes.
I think we need to leave. I think Mabel needs.
I just barfed. I heaved.
What?
You can see my breakfast of radishes all over
It's
the floor.
just chocolate.
Chocolate and radishes all over the floor.
No, there's not even radishes in here, Maple. It's just chocolate.
Give it a taste.
It's maybe this is why you're in bad shape because you eat just chocolate.
Oh God.
I guess that would explain the 80% torso.
Listen, sir, the gold
Here, lift up his
coins.
belly. See if there's more leg under
No,
there.
Is this
stop.
this is like 90% cacao? This is like nice chocolate.
The gold coins are made out of chocolate, too.
Oh my God, they're
They're
the little chocolate gold coins.
It's the candy.
I see the gold foil.
The gold foil. I'm sorry. I didn't pay you any real money. I'm so sorry.
Okay, Maple, come on, let's go, buddy.
Okay.
Up on my back.
Again, he does your taxes?
You know, that's what he says, but I've been getting a lot of mail from the IRS, so we're gonna have
Don't
a
worry
discussion.
about that. Don't worry about it.
We're gonna have a discussion about
It's
this.
so nice here on your back. It's so warm.
You're scratching me so much. Stop moving, please. There's blood everywhere.
You're so strong.
You need a towel to help sponge up that
I think I'm
blood?
gonna pass out.
No, Lance. Lance, I'll lick your wounds. I have anti.
Did you just try and call him? I don't think this is your account. He doesn't. I don't think he knows your name.
Lance, I'm coming out as an intersex goblin.
Anyway,
too.
Did you just say intersex goblin?
Yeah.
That's very brave of you, Mabel. Mabelson.
All right. Well, I'm
the
gonna
goal
leave.
to pay for all this
Yeah.
blood cleaning.
I will pay. I'll pay you.
We're sorry about the mess.
I'll pay you.
Sir.
I'll pay you in gold coins. Let you know when I get
Sorry
home.
about all the blood and chocolate and gold.
Gold
Oh God, I forgot about the chocolate.
How could you forget? It stinks a mile.
It stinks a mile.
Look, there's a lot of bodily fluids now floating around my brand new studio. I don't think I'm the one who should be questioning.
It smells like my uncle's. It smells like my uncle's house in the summer. My uncle was a human. I'm a goblin.
What are you talking about, Maple?
My uncle's a human.
What are you talking about?
My dad's a blood elf. He's a blood elf wizard.
Oh, I don't believe in that.
He's a grand wizard.
I don't believe that for a second.
Whoa. Grand Wizard.
Zooey Mama.
Zooey Mama.
You know, my favorite
guess that
celebrity is Sarah
tracks.
Michellle Gellar.
Why?
I like her nose.
You never saw that movie where her and her brother bet on fucking this girl? I forget the name of.
I think you're talking about Pulp Fiction.
No, I'm not. Sarah Michellle Gellar.
Legally Blonde.
You know, step. No, you're thinking of Reese Witherspoon.
Fuck.
That's Cruel Intentions, right?
Yeah, Cruel Intentions. That was There we go.
Lance, how do you remember Cruel Intentions but not anything else?
What?
Lance?
Came out in the 90s. It
Who?
was.
Lance, that's you. I think
I'm
he's
Lance?
I think
it
he's
was
getting
really
woozy.
cinema. It was cinema's first foray into incest. It was
I think he's getting woozy because of the blood loss.
It was the start of a
I
genre.
don't remember where I am.
We're having three different conversations right now.
Okay, there's blood on the floor, chocolate throw up. Lance Armstrong doesn't remember how to ride a bike.
I'm
and
just
you're
wa- I'm gonna
clearly a
walk toward-
goblin.
I'm walking
just
towards the
carrying
door.
on
I'm
carrying
walking
around
towards the
debris.
Oh God, Lance!
It's not.
Lance, you
I
fell
think he
over.
slipped in the blood.
He hit his head. He needs to go to the hospital. Lance, do you still keep the steroids on you? Lance. Lance.
Hello.
Hello, who are you?
Lance Reddick.
Oh my God, help me. We gotta carry Lance Armstrong out of here. Lance Reddick, he's from the Wire. Jesus Christ.
Who did he play?
I don't know. God damn it. I don't
We need
know.
to get him out of here now.
I don't know.
Sir, are you talking about yourself in the third person?
No, I don't know.
We need to get
Yeah,
him out of here
this
now.
blood loss really has done a number on it.
No, Lance Reddick is a different guy. Get him out of here. Pick him up,
Oh, so
Lance.
it's
Pick
not
him
like
up.
Lance
I'm
Armstrong
dragging
didn't
him.
slip, hit his head, and wake up and think he's Lance Reddick.
No,
I'm
this is
dragging him.
Lance
I'm
Reddick
dragging him out
who's
of the room.
walked in. Oh, he's being dragged. I'm picking up his
I'm
feet.
dragging him out of the room.
I'm kissing his feetsies as you pick him up.
Man, we really should get a bell for this door. It's really unclear who's coming in and out of this store. I gotta be more observant as a shop.
Bring, bring. I installed a bell. Here you go.
I thought someone was coming in. Okay.
Charing, 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 charing.
So we're having a situation. This goblin just killed
charing,
Lance Armstrong, and
charing.
Lance Reddick is now walking in.
Hey, it is me. One
No,
of the
he was
seven.
he says he was in the Wire. I don't know who he is.
Hello, it is me. One of the seven dwarves. I'm sleepy.
Sir, go
Can
take
you
a
hold the
nap
door
somewhere
open?
else. We gotta-
Can you hold the door open?
I'm holding the door. I'm holding the door.
Okay, I'm dragging out Lance Armstrong.
Charing.
Oh,
Bye bye.
wait.
What?
Can I get Lance's autograph?
Lance's armograph. Can I get? I'll give it to you. Here it is. Patooey. I spit on you. My spit is acidic because I'm a goblin. I spit acid.
God,
All right.
my shirt.
My shirt.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What doesn't come out of you?
No, goodbye. Go to the
Goodbye.
laundry mat.
It's right next door.
All right, I'm leaving. Mabel's leaving. Officially has exited.
Wow,
Okay, are we done? And
that's
scene.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That was like what? That was like watching Uncut Gems, but I was living it. That was a lot.
All right, well, skis. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks
This
for
is fun. I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm glad to be the tradition starter of a guest.
Hell yeah, dude.
Would you like to know who our next guest is?
Sure.
Whoever you say right now.
All right.
We'll get them on.
Well, that's not how that works, but
We'll get them
Let-
on.
let's
Let's get the little owl. I'm sure he's dying to get on. There's been a lot of
Oh.
owl slander on.
that's a
this
good
pod-
idea. That's a good idea.
There have been a handful of people who've caught in quite a bit of shade on this podcast.
We should
Little
do a
Owl,
debate style
EG.
podcast where we have two guests on and we let them fight.
Like
and
what's
we
it
can
called?
we can
Crossfire?
have them argue about how
Yeah.
Little Owl is absolutely right not to pass in pub stars, as
Yeah.
it is the only way to practice. But
Yeah.
you know,
I agree.
complain about people's play styles.
I actually
when
agree,
No
by
one
the
else
way.
can.
I agree, unironically, by the way.
All right, good. I'm glad we have this little stinger. It'll get everyone angry in the message.
I think that you should. Yeah, I think.
So
that,
now hold on.
I think that playing like you
We'll,
should. Like,
we'll tolerate BG slander, but backing up Little Owl.
yeah, no, I think that playing like 100% to win is like a really dumb thing. The only thing I complain about in pub stars is when people chirp me, so I chirp them back. So I don't complain about anyone else's play style. Don't let anyone fool you. Okay. I want to make that clear. Okay. I did ask Galchenyuk if he was high when he completely whiffed a shot, though. But that was a genuine question. I was curious. I wasn't actually.
You weren't
And-
flaming.
Hey, now that's only an offense if Minnie's doing it.
True. Okay.
How much time? How long have we gone?
Now
It's
2
been
hours.
close to
and
3
I-
hours, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
we're nearing
3 hours?
3 hours. Yeah.
You know, if you've listened to this all the way through, you know,
Yeah,
Godspeed.
maybe release it as a two-parter.
No,
Like,
that would
No,
require
no,
far too much
no.
work.
No, we need them to to be here as we were.
As it was originally. As it
Yeah.
was cannot be undone. I do
Altered.
know that there are a few people that will watch the whole thing, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
For some reason.
it has its highs and lows.
It really did.
We went all over the world. I think it was... Alright, I'm going to end it.
Okay.
Got any final words, Capitals? Lard ass?
Well, I'd be happy to for you to have me back on if you need it,
Oh,
guys, because
God.
I feel like you're gonna have a hard time getting another one. So
No, I would rather kill the show than repeat guests after the
think
second
that's up to you.
episode. Alright, well, from all of us here, so long, good luck, and good night. Bye-bye. Everyone
night.
say bye. Say bye.
Goodbye.
Gabe.
Goodbye. Bye.
buenas noches.